What have I just witnessed? Frankly, unbelievable scenes between Wrexham and Notts County in what was, let's be honest, the decider for who gets promoted to the football pyramid, to the National League, up into League Two, and it's an absolutely crazy game of football. Crazy. It epitomised everything about non-league football. Two teams just going hammer and tongs, lacking a bit of quality. Let's be completely honest. It's not like it's a Premier League or anything, but two teams that were there to fight. Two teams that are top and been clear of the rest of the pack, let's be completely honest. And it was a decider. Hollywood backed Wrexham. Ryan Reynolds is their co-owner. You know what they're going to be about. And he brought a Hollywood script here today for that game. Unbelievable, man. Absolutely unbelievable. A game that in the first half, I think it paled in contrast to the second half, to be completely honest. I thought that first half was actually quite poor. Quite poor. It lacked real quality. But right at the end of the first half, there was some proper quality in there. Notts County, brilliant strike, man. What a goal. I do have to say that. Unbelievable strike as well. Bostock with his left-footed free kick looped it well over the wall into the corner. Ben Foster, despite the fact that he's a Premier League goalkeeper, he had absolutely no chance with that one. Well and truly just wrapped it. Top bins. Brilliant, brilliant strike, man. Not seen anything like that type of shot. Unbelievable free kick, especially for a non-league side. And then straight into the second half, there must be some massive team talk going on because they came out in the second half to play Wrexham, man. They came out instantly. Paul Mullin, their star striker, back and scored, man. Scored. It was a bit of a dodgy one. Like, he pulled the defender down. Probably should have been a free kick, I can't lie. But who cares, man? It's non-league football. We're just here for entertainment. And he scored. Paul Mullin, brilliant striker to the bottom corner. It's a tough finish, ball on the move to strike that on your right foot across goal. Brilliant finish. That made it tied it up 1-1. What a game, True Gooner says. Appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to True Gooner if you haven't already. Wrexham going up. It seems that way, man. It's a Hollywood type story. It's a Hollywood script, man. They've got Ryan Reynolds as their co-owner. And bro, he brought the Hollywood writers there to write that script, man. That was some scripted stuff I've ever seen there. Even the last minute penalty is so crazy how it went, man. But yeah, Paul Mullin tied it up 1-1. And deservedly so. I thought Wrexham really started to improve. And then they carried on going. Carried on pushing. And it was a game that, let's be honest, wasn't necessarily any sort of quality to it. But I can't lie. I don't really watch National League football, especially the Vanarama National League Conference. But it actually looked alright. Like, they're two teams at the top of the table by a country mile. They're much better than the other teams I've seen from the table I looked at. But they actually looked alright. Like, if I was an alien that came down to planet Earth to view that game, I would have thought it was maybe a Championship or League One game. There were some points where I was thinking, what is this? This is schoolboy defending. But other times, I thought there was some quality to it. There was some pass and move. There was intensity. And it was proper entertainment. It was really entertaining. Do you know Southend United? They are my local team. I don't. I mean, I've heard of them, but I don't keep up with them. I can't lie, True Guna. But if they're your local team, I wish them the best, bro. I do. I wish them the real best. But yeah, they kept pushing. I think one thing with the Lino is, the Lino... there's no VAR because it's National League, like, we can't expect it. But the Lino got a lot of calls wrong, man. There was a lot of times he put his flag up for offside when it was nowhere near offside. Not at all anywhere near offside. He put his flag up anyway. The funny thing is, yeah, it's ironic, but the best Linos and the best assistant referees are in the Premier League. But arguably, they don't need to be the best because they've got VAR to decide anyway. Like, the best Linos should actually be in, like, League 2, League 1 and the Vanarama Conference where they haven't got VAR to bail them out. Because the quality of Lino is so poor here and they haven't got VAR to bail them out, stuff like this happens where a few times Wrexham strikers, Paul Mullin for example, was beating the offside trap by curving his run. Just like he's taught to do, any young striker would be taught to curve their run so they beat the offside trap. And Notts County were playing a very high line, extremely high line. It was extremely risky. But they got bailed out by the Lino putting his flag up. A couple of times it was right, but also I can remember numerous times where I don't even believe it was offside. Or maybe if it was offside, it would have been very tight. But that being said, Wrexham went down the other end and they made it 2-1 after tying it up. Mendy this time got on the score sheet. Brilliant back post, left foot, back across goal. Taught as every player is meant to do. When you're on the back post, you just put it back across where it came from, into the far corner. At that point, I'm thinking the comebacks happened. Wrexham have done exactly what they need to do. They're 2-1 up. Brilliant scenes. But then Notts County, ever since they went 2-1 down, fair play to them because they're stuck in there. It's a tough place to go. Wrexham, of course, I think a lot of people wanted Wrexham to win just because of the whole Hollywood backing and everything. It's their home crowd as well. They go into a bit of hostile atmosphere there, but they're stuck in there and they found a way back into the game. From the corner, terrible marking. Terrible marking from Wrexham. Honestly, inexcusable. No one got near to the man whatsoever. Back post, Cameron heads into the back of the net. Brilliant finish. Captain's finish. And that made it 2-2. At that point, it's anyone's game. Honestly, it's anyone's game because Notts County would have had the momentum, especially given what happened and how they were 2-1 down. They brought it to 2-2. But Wrexham got the home crowd. who was going to get that third goal, and it was Wrexham, man. They got the 5th goal overall, 3rd goal for them to make it 3-2. It was Lee this time. This epitomised schoolboy defending. I'm not even going to lie to you lot. Epitomised schoolboy defending. The right back, yeah, he loops up in the air, and the striker's offside, so they don't even bother running for it. And he runs and collects his own ball. I've never seen anything like it. The right back passes the ball and then goes and collects anyway. He scoops it up in the air and runs after it. It's schoolboy defending from Notts County. He then whips it in. The defender just sticks a leg out at it and pokes it behind him. Really, put your foot through it. If it goes out for a corner for a throw-in, so be it. Just put your foot through it. He dangles a leg. He leaves it out. It's then set on a plate for Lee to stroke it into the bottom corner. And that was 3-2 Wrexham. At that point, I'm thinking, they've done it. They've wrapped it up. You would have been like stupid to call it at that point because it was goals galore. But at that point, I'm thinking 3-2 Wrexham. Surely Notts County can't come back again. And then in the dying embers, this is why I say this has to be scripted, man. It has to be. No way we've got Ryan Reynolds in the building and Hollywood have not scripted something like this, man. It's crazy. In the final scenes, a penalty to Notts County, literally in the 96th minute. Like, there's 6 minutes added on. In the 96th minute, they've given a penalty. The ball's whipped in and the player jumps up and he jumps with 2 hands up. It strikes him on the back of his arm. It is a penalty. It is, because you can't jump up like that, man. You know what the rules are like. You have to jump with your arms down or arms in, not in weird positions, unnatural positions as they call it. Penalty given. But I can't lie, I fancied Ben Foster. It's Ben Foster. Bro, how is it fair that a Vanarama National League team in Wrexham have got a Premier League goalkeeper in Ben Foster? Ben Foster, I heard the interview, he talked about his medical. Ben Foster's medical, he said, lasted 35 seconds. He rocked up, the doctor asked him, he said, are you healthy? Yeah. How much do you weigh? 92 kilos. Have you had any previous injuries? Not really. Good to go, mate. Welcome to Wrexham. That was the medical. Ben Foster turned up and he made a brilliant save here. Like, that was not a bad penalty. Anyone clowning the Notts County striker for that penalty, do not clown him. That was a good penalty. And he's not even their penalty taker. They put their real penalty taker on the bench. They subbed him off. That was a good penalty, man. It's just Ben Foster matched it brilliantly. He was off his line. He knew what he was doing because he did encroach a bit, Ben Foster, because really, he should have at least 1 foot on the goal line. He didn't. He took both feet off it. But look, there's no VAR. What are they going to do, man? They're not going to, in front of the home crowd, they're not exactly going to say, oh, retake the penalty. They'd be, bro, the ref's going to get rushed. If the ref said, nah, retake the penalty, your foot isn't on the line, Ben Foster, the home crowd would not have that, man. There's not enough security there. They're going to rush the pitch. There's no chance it was going to do that. What a save by Ben Foster, man. And then it went out for a corner, and from the corner, nothing came of it. But Wrexham overall win 3-2, and just plaudits. Because what a game of football. What an entertaining game of football, man. I watched Liverpool versus Arsenal yesterday. I reviewed it on this channel. Of course, I'm an Arsenal fan. I was so excited to see it. But entertainment-wise, I've just watched 2 brilliant games of football. Yesterday, Liverpool-Arsenal, so entertaining, so intense. And today, it doesn't have the quality of the Premier League. But if you go into it expecting Premier League quality, you're going to get disappointed. I went into it expecting to be entertained, and boy was I entertained. It was such good football, man. Really good, entertaining stuff. I was seeing teams that were fighting, hammer and tongs, and win by any means possible. Flying in tackles, long throws, man. We saw Wrexham, every time they got a long throw, it was like a corner. This brother's got a bullet on his arms, man. Just launch that into the box every single time. Get some knockdowns, make some chances. Brilliant, brilliant stuff, man. Overall, thoroughly entertained today. And I just have to say, long may it continue. Long may it continue. I wish Wrexham the best. I expect them now to get promoted into League 2, which would be a massive story for them, man, and Ryan Reynolds. They've already got the documentary behind them, and I think it is giving incentive for more eccentric billionaires, or just billionaires, not even billionaires actually, just famous celebrities to invest in football clubs. Because it's so entertaining. Imagine, he rocks up to all the games. My man Ryan Reynolds goes to Wales. He leaves his luxury apartment in LA or wherever he is in America, or Canada, wherever he's from, to go to watch Wrexham play in Wales. It's crazy, man. That's how much football can change people. It's absolutely crazy. And today, look, they showed it. They showed it. They showed exactly what it's about. They showed exactly what national football's about. They showed exactly what football's about in general, Wrexham. And they found a way to win that football match. And it was brilliant to see. First off, like I said, wasn't that entertaining. I can't lie. I think that was really lacking some quality. But that second half, you could not complain whatsoever. 4 goals, a penalty missed. That second half was brilliant. Really good stuff, man. Really exciting to watch. And look, long may it continue. Paul Mullin, we know he got on the score sheet as well. I thought he was a really good player. I think, honestly, the player that scored the free kick, Bostock, I think his name was, for Notts County, Bostock, something like that. I thought he had a really good game as well in there. That free kick was delicious. That free kick was James Ward-Prowse, David Beckham-esque. The way he wrapped that with his left foot as well. Curled it over the wall. No chance for Ben Foster. They've got a Premier League goalkeeper in net and they've scored 2 goals here today, Notts County. So they can't be ashamed of themselves whatsoever. I think they put in a really good performance as well. Especially because a lot of people would expect Wrexham to walk this league, I think. Given the funding they have behind them. Now they've got Ben Foster in goal as well. A lot of people would think, Wrexham, they'll be fine. They're gonna easily bypass into League 2. But Notts County put up a fight. A lot was against them. A lot in the fact that they aren't the team that necessarily favours. But they stuck in there. They're the oldest club in England, I want to say. Feel free to, it might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Notts County, the oldest established club in England. From like the 1860s, they were around. So they're an old traditional football club. And they've given it their all. They might not get promoted now, but they can't say they haven't had a brilliant season in that respect in terms of the entertainment they've given to their fans. They had 16,000 people, the commentator said, rock up to their previous home game. 16,000 people going to a Notts County game. It's crazy, man. It's crazy what National League is doing, the numbers it's pulling. It's the beautiful sport. It is literally the beautiful sport. Football. And England epitomises that. And today we saw some brilliant entertainment between Wrexham and Notts County. 3-2 overall. Could have been a penalty at the end to make it 3-3. They probably will rue that, Notts County. But like I said, the penalty taker can't be too disappointed because that was just a brilliant save. It wasn't even a bad penalty. Lots of times when someone missed a penalty, like yesterday when Salah missed a penalty for Liverpool, I was saying, what is he doing, man? Like, that's a terrible penalty. This penalty today, he hit it low and hard. Yeah, it was fair. It was a fairly good height for the keeper, and he did get a palm to it, Ben Foster, but he's not their usual penalty taker for Notts County. He did exactly what he was meant to do. He hit that penalty hard into the corner, but Ben Foster just matched it. He did crush a little bit, but he got away with it. There's no VAR. And Notts County rue their missed chances. And Wrexham make a comeback to win this game 3-2. It's a brilliant entertainment overall. Ding-dong battle. 1-0 Notts County. 1-1 then Wrexham score. 2-1 Wrexham. They complete the comeback, I thought. 2-2 Notts County. And then 3-2 Wrexham at the end with Lee. Brilliant stuff. And a penalty miss to top it all off. And excellent entertainment overall. And I can't wait to see what Wrexham do in League 2. I genuinely can't wait because I've heard people come out and say that Wrexham actually portray the quality of a League 1 side. And I saw it a bit today, to be completely honest. I think it was brilliant. Like, some of the football they were playing. Like, I don't watch National League. I really don't. But I watched this game because I wanted to see it. It's 2 teams. It's the best title race of the year. It's unbelievable. It's better than Arsenal Man City. They're going hammer and tongs. And I thought, watching this game, I want to see what quality is like. And genuinely, it wasn't bad. Genuinely, if an alien got brought down to Earth and watched this, they genuinely would have thought it would be League 1 Championship. I would not have been surprised. I thought it was a really good quality. And it was entertaining as well. Really good. Notts County is the oldest professional club in the world, not just the country. Really good point there. To be fair, I didn't know it was the oldest in the world. I didn't know it was the oldest in the country, but not the world. That's a great point. But then again, it's a beautiful game. And it was... They always say at the World Cup, England, bring it home, bring football home. It's crazy, man. And yeah, quality punch. I appreciate that, NH. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here for football reactions. My next reaction will be tomorrow. Man City versus Bayern Munich. Honestly, the juxtaposition between the punditry of this match and watching this match compared to when I watch Man City versus Bayern Munich tomorrow will be crazy, man. When I stream at 10 p.m. English time tomorrow, Man City versus Bayern Munich, just watch the quality of football I'll be watching compared to this will be night and day. But entertainment-wise, I don't think it'll beat this game because it was pure entertainment, man. It was brilliant. It was brilliant stuff. Viewing figures for this game must have been insane. Exactly. Honestly, I know a lot of people that are watching this game. This is my first time watching the Vanarama National League. My first ever time. I'm holding my hands up. I love football. I watch football pretty much every day. This is my first time watching the National League. And it was good. It was genuinely really good, man. Like, I watched it and I was really excited seeing it. See, like, there was hammer and tongs. Yeah, there was a little bit of quality missing. I'm not going to sit there and judge it like it was a Champions League final. But I was watching 2 teams that were fighting. And yeah, there was some pass and move going on. Yeah, there was some runs in behind. And I saw what they were doing. I saw the way that Wrexham started to pull the ball out wide and whip it into the box for Paul Mullin. You saw it, and they were trying to beat the offside trap. The way Paul Mullin was curving his runs in behind. I saw it. Like, they're a well-coached, well-oiled team. But you got to say at times, the Lino, what was he doing? What was he doing out there, putting his flag up at times it wasn't offside? The striker did perfect. Honestly, he did perfect. It's exactly what you need to do. As a striker, you're taught, curve your run. Curve your run to beat the team. You run a little bit in, and then you run in behind. Everyone's taught it. He did exactly what he was meant to do. Beat the offside trap. But the Lino at times, he put his flag up. The ironic thing is, right, The best liners, the best assistant referees are in the Premier League, when arguably they don't need to be because they've got VAR to bail them out. Here today, there's no VAR, and the quality of lino is worse. It's ironic to say that, like, the best linos are in the Premier League where they don't need to be. Like, if the lino today was in the Premier League, he just has to keep his flag down, and VAR will decide it. It's crazy, man. Why football better than Gary Neville? There we go, man. I appreciate it, Lucas. I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting. To be fair, I thought Wrexham would win. I can't lie. I thought Wrexham would win this match. Genuinely, I was watching it, and before I just saw the way it was going, I was like, you know what? The Hollywood back, Ryan Reynolds in the building. You've got all the viewing numbers. It's their home grounds, home atmosphere. I'm thinking this is Wrexham's, man. I'm watching. I'm thinking. I'm waiting for them to get a goal. Then I see the free kick going. I'm like, hang on a minute, bro. I see that because bear in mind that first half was poor quality. I think everyone would agree. Nothing compared to the second half, but that first half was poor quality. And I see that free kick going from Bostock, and I'm like, what is going on, man? This brother, like, if I blinked, I would have seen David Beckham in his prime. He wrapped that in his left foot, and don't get me wrong, I know Ben Foster's a Premier League goalkeeper in goal. It could be Manuel Neuer, Buffon in goal. He's not saving that. That was one hell of a free kick. Like, that was a Champions League-esque free kick from Notts County player there, Bostock. What a strike that was, man. And that put him 1-0 up, and I was like, that puts the cats among the pigeons, because I would have thought this would be a walk in the park for Wrexham. I thought, you know, okay, not a walk in the park, don't get me wrong, because both these two teams are topper. But I thought the way it was going, the way Wrexham has got their home crowds, I thought it'd be a game that they're gonna win. I say walk in the park. I don't believe that whatsoever. Sorry, that's the wrong words. But as in, I thought they'd win this game. Like, I thought they would. It's Wrexham, man. They got Rivalries behind them, home crowd, etc. My local team lost 3-1. Sorry to hear that, C1, man. Sutton United. Is that above to C1? Hey, if Sutton United lost, I'm sorry, man. Come on, Wrexham. Big up Wrexham from Wales, man. They're looking like they're going to go into League 2. They go to Barnet away. Barnet's my local team. Well, but I'm in that county. I'm in that borough, sorry. I'm in that borough. I don't really care about Barnet, though. Big up Wrexham, man. I want to see how far they can go under Ryan Reynolds. I want to see more celebrities invest in football, man. Genuinely, I want to see more celebrities get involved with it. Because it's a beautiful sport. Ryan Reynolds is an actor, bro. He lives in sunny Los Angeles or wherever, Canada. He lives in a beautiful place. And he's made the trip, the commute, every week basically to watch Wrexham in Wales. If that doesn't show dedication, I don't know what does, man. So big up him and big up anyone that wants to invest in football. I know a lot of people saying, oh, leave it to the English people, it's the English game, etc. I hear that, but come on, man. It's football. Let anyone invest. Let anyone want to be involved in football, man. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. If anyone wants to buy Barnet, buy Barnet. If anyone wants to buy Sutton United, buy Sutton United. I don't mind, man. As long as they're good owners, that's what I want. I don't want owners that just come in and just buy it and just don't get involved. If you're going to own a football club, get involved. I honestly think, yeah, unpopular opinion, but I think if you own a football club, you should be going to at least 25 to 50% of the matches, at least. That should be a requirement. To own a football club, you have to go to at least 25-50% of the matches. Because you have to actually seem interested. Because otherwise, you're just buying it like it's a stock, like it's a share, like it's just an asset you have. Football drives emotion, man. Like, a lot of people would want to own a football team. I'd love to own a football team. I don't have the money to do so. Just because I want to watch it, man. It's brilliant. Nice one, guys. Yeah, exactly. I appreciate you tuning in as well. Anyone new around here, man, 146 views. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe, man. My next stream will be tomorrow after Man City versus Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be completely different quality to this game. But entertainment-wise, I don't know if it can match it. Like, this is the best entertainment I've had this season. Yesterday's game, Liverpool versus Arsenal, that I watched. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I was watching that. Like, behind closed eyes, I was watching that like, oh my god, I do not want to see us concede. That entertainment was brilliant yesterday, and this entertainment again today was brilliant as well. Sorry, Notts County best team won. You are a good side. Yeah, I think to be fair, I thought both sides fought like hammer and tongs towards it, fought their best. I thought Wrexham really, I think in that second half stepped it up. I thought when they went 2-1 up though, they took their foot off the gas a little bit, and that gave Notts County the incentive to try and get a foothold in the game. I think Wrexham really should have just stuck to it. As soon as they went 2-1 up, you kill them. That's it. In football, you can't display any sign of weakness. As soon as you've got the momentum, you put your foot on the neck and you go for it, man. You don't let the team have any let up. And I thought when Wrexham went 2-1 up, that was their initiative to go and finish that game. They already turned it around from 1-0 down to 2-1. Go make it 3-1 and that's game over, especially at home. They didn't. They sat back a little bit. Credit Notts County. They came out of their shell. They came to play football and they got a deserved goal to tie up at 2-2. But then after they made it 2-2, Wrexham once again went onto the front foot, took the initiative once more, and they really took a foothold in the game again and made it deservedly 3-2. And despite the penalty right at the end, Notts County could not score it, and they end up winning the game. I think overall it's the right result. I think it was a really evenly contested and good football match, and it shows how good those two teams are. And both teams arguably do not deserve to be in the National League. Both teams deserve to be in at least League 2 of football. I think this game showed it. But Wrexham overall, they did the job, man. Credit to them. Supporting Wrexham from Brazil, all the way from Brazil. Joga bonito. You watched some Joga bonito today. Big up my man. Poor quality, this is non-league. Yeah, look, poor quality is non-league. I agree, that is a statement. I still have to say it. It still is poor quality. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, I mean, it was poor quality, but I wasn't expecting good quality. If I was expecting good quality, I'd be, I mean, I'm going to watch tomorrow's game anyway. I'd be watching a Premier League game or a Champions League game. But it was entertaining, and that's what it's about. Football's about entertainment. If you watch this game thinking you're going to watch the Premier League teams, that's your problem at the end of the day. If you watch this game thinking it was going to be like Liverpool, Arsenal quality, that's your problem. If you watch this game like I did, thinking, you know what, I'm going to sacrifice some good football to watch two teams play hammer and tongs to try and win the league. That's what I'm watching. I enjoyed it. I love the mix-up because I'm so used to watching Premier League football where it's pass and move. And it's beautiful to watch, don't get me wrong. I love watching Premier League football. I love watching the way the teams dictate and manoeuvre the ball and sometimes the runs they make and how fit the athletes are. But watching today, I saw where there was different tactics. I was seeing Wrexham launch long throws. This brother had a cannon in his arm. The way he launched this and it was going back post, it was crazy, man. He was leaning back and just launching the ball. It was crazy scenes. So I love watching this. I love the entertainment. It's my first time watching the National League and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Ben Foster is a hero. A hero indeed, John Walker. An absolute hero indeed. But the funny thing is, let's be completely real about it, man. He's a Premier League goalkeeper. The fact Wrexham even got him is a joke. It's a joke. Let's be completely honest. Ben Foster, I know he retired, but he is a Premier League level goalkeeper, at least Championship. At the least Championship. He's not a non-league goalkeeper. Let's be completely real about it, man. So Wrexham did a coup getting him. Even he was laughing because I was watching Ben Foster's podcast on it, the Fozcast, and he was saying how his medical for Wrexham lasted 35 seconds. But I was laughing when I heard that, man. He went for a medical at Wrexham and the doctor was like, okay, have you had any previous injuries? No. Do you feel fit? Yes. Has your weight changed? No. Okay, welcome to Wrexham. Imagine that. Imagine a Premier League team trying to sign someone and the medical lasts 35 seconds. They're hooking them up with all the heart rate sensors, BPM, their fitness, they're weighing them every week, doing their body mass index, their BMI, their body fat percentage, everything, man. At Wrexham, it's pure vibes. They're like, it's Ben Foster, man. Bring him in the door. And what a hero today. That penalty save was brilliant, man. It wasn't even a bad penalty. It was a really good penalty. But got down low and hard, and he made a big stop there and put it out for a corner. Here in Brazil, Mullin could play easily. Mullin's a good striker, man. Really good striker. He's fighting for that golden boot over there. Done really well as well. Brazil, the thing with Brazilian football, though, Brazilian football is technically gifted, man. Like, all these Brazilian players, they find their way to, like, Real Madrid. Like, even Gabriel Martinelli at Arsenal, technically gifted footballer. And they've got that little, that je ne sais quoi about them, these Brazilian footballers. Growing up in favela football, knowing what they're doing. They fight with a chip on their shoulder. And I like that type of football, man, that these Brazilian footballers show. So that's really, really good, man. No Maidenhead United. Oh, is that you saying you support C1? Big up Maidenhead United. I went to the match. Oh, what a game to go to. What a game to go to. You went to the match, Finn, man. I'm jealous. I wish I went to see that one. Brilliant scenes, man. So good. Entertainment unmatched. And I bet the ticket was like 5 quid or 10 quid as well. I bet the ticket was cheap as chips, man. Honestly, brilliant. Like, you could go to a Premier League game, yeah, and pay 80, 90 pounds to go to watch a Premier League game and get knack seats as well. You could go to a Premier League game and get terrible seats, pay 90 quid, and you will not get entertained as much as this game, which probably costs about £5. It's genuine. It's genuinely, non-league football sometimes is brilliant to watch, man. Absolutely brilliant. What about Lincoln City? Big up Lincoln City, man. He just bought a home there. I'm not surprised because he goes to watch all the games, Ryan Reynolds. He goes to watch all the games. I love that about him. I love owners that invested in the football club. Even Todd Boehly. Like, whatever you think about Todd Boehly at Chelsea, right? I'm not a massive fan of how involved he is with making football decisions, how much money he spends. But one thing I will not begrudge the man about is he clearly cares about Chelsea. Like, he's an owner that's come into the doors and he's gone to all the games and he's present. He cares about the club at least. I see a lot of owners, FSG for Liverpool, the Glazers for United, Kroenke for Arsenal. They don't care about the team. Like, they're not present at all. If, for me, English football should make a rule saying if you're an owner of the club, unless you're physically not able to do so, and I don't see why you shouldn't be able to do so, you should go to at least 25% of the matches. It should be a rule. You should have to go to at least 25% of the matches. Otherwise, you clearly don't care enough about the football club. If I had a box seat at the Arsenal, I would go week in, week out, bro. I would ride 3 hours early. I'd meet all the players, everything. I love that club. The owners don't care about their clubs enough. Ryan Reynolds, he bought a home in Wrexham in Wales. Big up him for that. He goes to all the games. He clearly cares. The camera's on him every 10 seconds. I love how invested he is with the football club. Big up any other celebrities that want to get involved in football. I have nothing against it whatsoever. As long as you care about football, as long as you want to get involved with it, by all means buy that club. Just don't buy the club if you're not going to care about it. That's what I say. Don't forget about Rob, Ryan's partner. I think it was all his idea. Yeah, Rob as well. Rob's got a bit of football knowledge. I've watched a bit of some YouTube videos between them where they ask some football questions. And Rob ain't too bad, I think Ryan's a bit of a football casual, but look, he's Ryan Reynolds, man. He's an actor. He's not from England. He's not from Wales. He's not from the UK in general. He ain't gonna know a lot about football. But Rob, I think, knows a little bit, and I think it's one of the best decisions Ryan's made because he loves it, man. I've never seen that guy so happy. He's incredible. Just up, bro. I appreciate that. Noah. Anyone else new around here, make sure you subscribe for football reactions. My next live stream will be tomorrow. Man City versus Bayern Munich. A brilliant, brilliant top game in the Champions League. I cannot wait for it. The quality will be different to this game. It will be different, but will the entertainment live up to it? Who knows? Either way, tomorrow's stream, Man City versus Bayern Munich. Subscribe, bell notifications on. You do not want to miss it. Paul Mullin is capable to play in Brazil in clubs like Flamengo or Palmeiras. Potentially, I thought Paul Mullin did really well today. Really involved the goal. That finish was tough, by the way. Let's talk about that finish from Paul Mullin. Sweep along the ground. Bobbly surface as well. To tuck that way with your right foot low and hard into the corner. Really good. Genuinely a tough finish. That is a really underrated finish. I see Premier League footballers scuff that. Scuff that type of shot. To come across low and hard and to sweep that with your right foot across goal into the far corner. Really underrated finish from Paul Mullin. I expect him to be fighting for that golden boot. He's done really, really well. And look, if Wrexham get promoted, he's a big part of that promotion campaign. He could get a move on, but I think he'll stay. I think he'll stay at Wrexham and build a career there, man. He's done really, really well. So is the advance automatic or is there some type of playoff? I'm in New York. I'm not too sure, to be completely honest. I think that there is advanced automatic promotion because I think both these two teams were fighting for it, Notts County and Wrexham. And I think Notts County were actually ahead on the table until Wrexham won this game, because I think on goal difference. I could be wrong. This is my first National League game I've watched, but I was entertained. I loved it. I loved it. But I think, honestly, both these teams are good enough to go up to League 2. But I think there's a Vanarama National League South and a North and all that. I could be wrong. Look, the way it works in England, you say you're from New York, because I'm going to do a quick summary. Obviously, the English fans knowing this will probably know this, but I'm going to summarize it anyway. And in case I make a mistake, let me know. But basically in England, yeah? So I know in America, you have NBA, NFL, MLS, where you got basically just like a league and that's it. In England, there's a pyramid, right? And basically what it means is, technically, any football club, even if you're in the non-league, can make it to the Premier League. It's a fairy tale, but you can make it. And obviously, it goes a pyramid. So you've got the Premier League, 20 teams, Championship, League 1, League 2, all with 24 teams. Then you've got like the Vanarama League and all that, where you've got a bunch of divisions underneath that, where they split up into South, North, etc. And then they can make their way up into League 2. So I believe the winner of Wrexham versus Notts County, whoever wins the league overall, it looks like it's going to be Wrexham now, will make it into League 2, which is then the lowest tier, the 4th division of English football, if that kind of makes sense. That's why I think it works. I don't think there's a playoff. I could be wrong though. Let me know. Anyone that watches a lot of National League, let me know. I don't, but that's how it works. Did you think them 2-2 was fair result for both teams yesterday? I think you're talking about Liverpool and Arsenal, right? So for me as an Arsenal fan, yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I wish we won that game, especially given how we were 2-0 up and we dominated. All the streams I had before that game, I was saying, look, it's Anfield, it's a dangerous place. I really do not want to go there and fall victim to the crowd. If we come and we play a football game, we will win that game comfortably because Liverpool are not a good football team. But one thing I will not hack is people saying Liverpool are not good this season. Liverpool away from home have stunk. They've been terrible. Liverpool at home in the Premier League have been brilliant. Let's not forget that. They've lost one game in the Premier League all season at home, and that was to Leeds United scoring the last second. I believe it was Somerville that scored. Liverpool at home have been really good. They've beaten Man City. They've beaten Manchester United 7-0. Man United are not a bad football team. So don't worry about that. Man United are not a bad football team, and they mashed them 7-0. They're a good football team, Liverpool at home. And in that second half, Liverpool deserved to win that football game. I think on the balance of play, if you look at both halves, a draw was a fair result. And as an Arsenal fan, I'm sitting there thinking what could have been. The way I'd analyse it is, it's like me buying a stock, right? And the stock's gone up. Say I bought a stock for £1,000 or $1,000, and the stock's gone up to $2,000. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to cash out. I'm going to wait a bit more. Then it drops back down to $1,500. Then I cash out. It's like, oh, we still got it. We still got $500 profit, but it could have been $1,000. That's how I look at it with Arsenal. Like, we could have cashed out at 2-0 up we could have walked away with that game. Like, if we get the third goal, it's game over. It's game over. If Xhaka doesn't ignite the crowd, it's game over. And we walk away with 3 points and a massive 3 points at Anfield, a psychological boost. But at the end of the day, the way the second half was going, the way Salah should have scored at the end, the way Konate should have scored at the end, really and truly, we got away with it a little bit, getting a point. So that's how I got to look at it. It's a point gain for me because there's still games to go. And the way I look at it, Arsenal just can't lose against Man City. If we draw or win at Man City, I think we've got a good chance of the title, to be completely honest. No shit, Sherlock, my man says, G. Jones. Barca or Real Madrid? See, this is a good point. For me, I prefer Real Madrid personally. But one thing I do want to say is that every single player, disagree with me if you want, every single player and fan in their head has Barcelona and Real Madrid in their head. I made this topic, I talked about it before on a stream. Basically, right, any young footballer in their head wants to go to Barcelona or Real Madrid. It's the pinnacle of their career. It's one of the two. And for me, it's Real Madrid, but other people would be Barcelona. I love both clubs. I think they're both brilliant. For me, just Real Madrid, just because I love that mentality of Real Madrid is just champions, man. Like, Real Madrid's got that champions mentality. Like, no matter how down and bad they are, they'll find a way to win. They've won the Champions League the most amount of times. They've got killers in their squad. I just love Real Madrid. Barcelona under Pep Guardiola were some of the best football I've ever seen in my life. And to be fair, that's when I first started really getting entertained by football. I was born in 2002, so when I was like 6, 7 years old, that's when I really saw first bits of football that I actually like kind of was watching, like understanding football a little bit, even just a little bit. And I saw Pep Guardiola rip teams to shreds. And I was thinking, this is beautiful. Tiki-taka, triangle football. But yeah, between the two, both brilliant clubs for me. Just Real Madrid is my preference. Feel free to disagree. What about women's football? Do you think that's entertaining? Tickets to games are about 10 quid. Women's football is growing a lot. Growing a lot and a lot. And big up to them, man, because football should not be just locked off to just males. I have a lot of respect for women's football and what it's doing. I think the argument about equal pay is a joke. I don't think there should be equal pay, given that the men generate so much more revenue and the quality of the men's football is better than women's football right now. But they should continue to grow women's football. I think it's brilliant. I watched Arsenal Bayern Munich in the Champions League, and I watched this goal, yeah? If you haven't watched it, watch it on YouTube after you finish this stream. Arsenal's goal against Bayern Munich. This goal was beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. And women's football is getting better. And look, the more you invest in it, the more you give girls the opportunity to play football, it will get better. Tickets to game about 10 quid. If anyone wants to go, go, man. I'd be saying go. I don't personally go to women's games. I don't really go to a lot of men's games either. I like watching it from home. I go to the Emirates. Maybe I've gone to the Emirates, I think 5 or 6 times this season in total. But I'd recommend it. It's decent. It's decent quality. The games I've seen have been good. It's been quite good. What a match. Ben Foster, man, the match indeed, man. What a match indeed. Ben Foster, save at the end. What a hero. I don't know how Wrexham managed to pull off signing him in the first place. It's crazy, but what a hero he was. Inter, what a match. What thoroughly entertaining, man. Thoroughly entertaining indeed. Pastor subbed as well. Appreciate it, my man. Anyone else, make sure you subscribe down below for football-related content. You don't want to miss it. Let me know your thoughts, game. I'm loving reading through all your thoughts in the live chat. I'm getting through to them bit by bit by bit. I've got a lot of live stream comments coming through, so I'm going to get to them each. And then, of course, tomorrow, make sure you subscribe, man. My schedule for streaming is going crazy. Tomorrow, we've got Man City versus Bayern Munich in Champions League. You do not want to miss it. The day after, Real Madrid versus Chelsea. You don't want to miss it. The day after that, Manchester United versus Sevilla. You don't want to miss it, man. The football is coming thick and fast, and I'm here to stream all my reactions to them. I appreciate anyone that's come into the chat, anyone subscribed, anyone that's let me know their thoughts on the game. I love hearing it. Let's go, Wrexham. Big up Wrexham as well, man. Wrexham's got a lot of fans everywhere, man. A lot of fans everywhere. Big up them. And look, the viewing, someone made a comment earlier in the live chat. The viewing numbers for this game was insane. Like, BT Sport, of course, showed it. BT Sport 1 showed this game. I had Sky Sports posting about it, BBC talking about it. The coverage for this game has been absolutely crazy. Big it up, man, because this game got more coverage than League 2 matches and League 1 matches. Let's be completely honest about it. It was really good to see, man. And it's really good seeing that some of these lower clubs have an opportunity to show themselves on a big stage. Like, these players would have woken up today and gone, oh my God, I'm going to be on national TV today. Oh my God, I'm going to be streamed on BT Sport. I'm going to have real life commentators talking about me playing football. Because a lot of these players, like, they're not good enough to make the Premier League. Let's not kid ourselves about it. It's all good talking about a fairy tale here, but they're not good enough. So for them is like their World Cup final. That's what it would feel like. And they really showed an entertaining fight, man. Entertaining fight in the respect that they were going hammer and tongs at each other, but a really entertaining match. Really good stuff, man. Really good stuff, and I really appreciated watching it. And I spent 2 hours out of my day watching it. I'm not a National League fan. I don't support either of those teams. I wanted Wrexham to win just because of the story, and I want to see how far they can go under Ryan Reynolds and obviously Rob as well. But I just really enjoyed the football, and I would not have been disappointed if Notts County found a way to win that match. But like you said, let's go Wrexham. Wrexham got fans everywhere and anywhere, man. All over, not just in Wales, Everyone wants Wrexham to do well, man. The Ryan Reynolds effect is big. Great discussion, news up here. I appreciate it as well. Anyone that's subscribing, Colin, another one that's subscribed, I really appreciate it. Football-related talk basically every day. Did my Champions League predictions and live stream earlier. Didn't get nowhere near as many views as this right now. Let's be completely honest about it. But I appreciate it. Try to discuss football. I love talking about it. Got tickets for the Etihad tomorrow. I'm off. Got tickets for the Etihad tomorrow. I'm awfully nervous. Wow. Okay, so this is interesting because tomorrow I'm going to Manchester and I tried to get tickets, but I couldn't get tickets for the game. Tomorrow, Man City versus Bayern Munich. What a game it will be. I cannot wait for it, streaming it on this channel afterwards. I think Man City are going to do well. I think Man City are going to win the Champions League this year. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm wishing they go far. I don't want them to win the Champions League. Don't make any mistake about it. I want what happens to Man City, what happened to Arsenal. Me as an Arsenal fan, I've experienced this every day of my life, man. I'm going, oh, I'm an Arsenal fan. Oh, you're brilliant. You never won the Champions League, though. If I got £1 for every time I hear that, I probably could buy Arsenal. Every time someone says to me, oh, you never won the Champions League, though. That's what I want to say to Man City fans. In 10, 20 years' time, when you lot aren't as good as you are now, maybe you got some FFP in place and you never went on to your glory days anymore, and it all starts to die off a little bit. I want to go to those Man City fans and go, the ones that are still around, that's it, and go, yeah, you never won the Champions League, though. All the money you spent, you won countless Premier Leagues. Where's that Champions League? That's what I want to say. But I've got a funny feeling in my gut that Man City win the Champions League this year. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's that Haaland X factor. Just that little bit of extra quality up front for them, because they've been missing that recently. Against Real Madrid, don't forget, they were 2 minutes away from progressing to the final. I think they're going to do it this year, Real Madrid. I think they're going to do it this year, Man City. And tomorrow will be a brilliant game. Can't wait to watch it. Can't wait to stream afterwards. But I do give it to Man City. I think they'll win that game, especially at home, especially the first leg. I give it to them. I think 3-1 they're going to beat Bayern Munich. Wrexham to get promoted now. It looks that way. Obviously, it's not over. Wrexham's still got a few more matches to be played. But those two teams have been pretty much flawless this season. Really good quality. Over 100 points, man. Really good quality from both those sides. I expect them to get promoted now. If they don't, it'll be a massive bottle job. This was the title decider. Just like Man City Arsenal on April the 26th, which I'll be streaming on this channel as well. This was basically the title decider. What a game. And what a way for it, man. Obviously, it's not over. Wrexham Notts County still could get promoted. And Wrexham can still bottle it. But the way it's good, I don't expect that to happen. I expect Wrexham to get through now. Because the teams they're playing as well, they're not as good as them quality-wise. Let's be completely honest about it. It would be a bottle job if Wrexham don't get promoted from this position. Another year in the National League for Notts then. It's a shame. It's a shame because the football they played this season that I've seen and the points they've racked up and the football I saw in this game, both these two teams do not deserve to be in the National League. I 100% have to say that. The quality of football I watched today, was it Premier League standard? No, of course not. It's a National League game. But this was good quality. Like, if I came down to Earth as an alien and I watched this game and someone said, what type of quality would it be? I would have guessed League One. League One, maybe League Two. Championship at a push, maybe. Not Championship, actually. League One, I'd say. Genuinely, it was a good quality game. There were some real bits of quality in it. I think the Paul Mullin finish was quality. Like, I see Premier League strikers scuff that type of chance. Where he came onto his right foot, hitting across the ball. Not gonna lie, I think he fouled the Donny before. I think he did foul the defender, so it shouldn't have counted. But I think the way he swept that into the bottom corner, quality finish from Paul Mullin, really good. Really, really good. Wrexham, Campeão, champions, it's looking like it for Wrexham, man. Big up them. Only one automatic place. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you for clearing that up. One automatic place, and it seems as though Wrexham are going to make it right now after beating Notts County and going 4 points clear at the top of the table. Top team gets promoted. The rest go into a playoff for one promotion spot. Okay, exactly. That clears up. Thank you for anyone that was didn't know. That clears up both comments. Devin and Tommy above, saying that there's one automatic promoted spot and then the rest going to a playoff for one promotion spot. And I expect Wrexham now to get that one promotion place. Sorry, that one automatic place for promotion, given they won today against Notts County. Hello everyone, appreciate you tuning in. Luke, anyone that's new around here, make sure you subscribe. Only one automatic place, another one from Pastor. National League is the hardest league to get out of. It is. It really is, because we're looking at Notts County with 100 points, right? And they're not going to get automatically promoted. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Only one promotion spot. Now, the way I look at it, now I might get this wrong, so honestly, let me know in the live stream chat. But Premier League, obviously, you don't get promoted because it's a top division. There's 3 relegation spots in the Premier League. I know that for a fact. I watch a lot of Premier League football. I know that for a fact. Therefore, in the Championship, there's 2 promotion spots automatically and then 1 playoff. As in, like 4 teams go into a playoff. So 1 and 2 in the Championship go automatically up to the Premier League. Then 3 to 6 player playoff to get promoted to the Premier League. Championship has 3, I want to say, also relegation spots. I think. And then you've got the League One, which has got 4 relegation spots, I believe. And obviously, you've got the promoted teams that play off as well.
That's how I think it works. And obviously, League Two, they get promoted from all around the gaff. You've got like the Vanarama National League, for example. I believe it's split up into a South and North, etc. The pyramid scheme in football is very complicated. And to be fair, I should know a lot more about it. I do spend a lot of my time focusing on the Premier League, to be honest, because I watch a lot of Premier League football. But I do know a little bit about it. And it's happened. Like, look at Brentford. Brentford were down in League Two at one point, I believe. And then made their way all the way up to the Premier League now under Thomas Frank. It's been an absolutely brilliant story for them. I had no clue this was on. To be honest, I had no clue it was on either until I got bombarded on my Instagram and Twitter feed. BT Sports, Sky Sports posting about it, saying, oh my God, it's the biggest title decider, Wrexham versus Notts County. They promoted it well, to be fair to them. They promoted it very, very well because I was excited for this game. I was thinking, hang on a minute, both teams at 100 points, anything could happen. I'm going to tune into this. And I was thoroughly entertained. I really enjoyed it. It was a good use of my time. If I paid to go, I'm not going to bop to Wales, obviously, but if I had a chance to go to that game, I would have definitely gone. There is a playoff Tommy says. Thank you for letting me know. Mullin is on the verge of the Welsh national team. Rob Page has been talking about him. And look, the Wales team, obviously, Wales severely underperformed in the World Cup. I feel for them because I think in that group they had a good chance to get out. With USA there, with Iran there, I think they should have gone further than they did. And he's looking like a real top striker, Paul Mullin. And he needs opportunity in the top teams. Now, can he make that jump from National League to League Football and then obviously to the Welsh national team? Because the national team's a different kettle of fish. I'm not too sure. But why not, man? Why not? It's a really good look. Even if Paul Mullin doesn't start for Wales or doesn't even get any minutes off the bench, it's a really good kind of sign to bring these players up because it shows any player, it gives them confidence that no matter where you are playing football, if you prove that you're quality and you show that you're good, you'll get a chance in the national team. I think that's a really good sign to have. And it's a really good role model, Paul Mullin, then, for other players that are looking to get into their national teams. So I think he should, to be honest. He's on the verge of the Welsh national team. Best of luck to him. He produced a brilliant finish today. This season he's played really well, I've heard. He's on his way to be top goal scorer, potentially. And that was a brilliant finish on his right foot. A tough finish as well. It's Premier League, League One, League Two, and then National League. Championship, though. Eric, championship between Premier League and League One. But yes, you're right. Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two, and then National League. 2 to 7 in league in the league in playoffs, I think. Okay, so 2 to 7. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 teams. Wow, crazy. I wish they would bring promotion relegation to MLS. I see what you're saying there, Devin, but I think America's just different. Like, for example, I watch a lot of NBA and I watch NFL as well. The NBA is about to go into the playoffs, right? They don't do promotion relegation because they do playoffs at the end and that's how they do it. I think the reason they don't, right, is because every team doesn't play each other twice. Or, you know what I mean, like in that respect in the NBA, because of how massive America is, the schedule means that an Eastern Conference team can't play a Western Conference team more than twice. But you can play your division teams 4 times because the travel isn't as much. And because you don't play everyone twice, it's not a fair play because your schedule can impact whether you win or not. Like as many games, therefore they do a playoff, so it kind of like rids all the scheduling differences because then whoever wins the playoffs technically is the best team over a 7-game series, or in the NFL, 1 game off whoever wins it, wins the NFL, wins the Super Bowl, etc. So I see what you're saying, but I just don't think it fits the American model necessarily. They could do it, and I think it'd be really interesting if they do, but I just think America, it fits the NBA, NFL franchise system where no promotion, no relegation, draft picks, stuff like that, you got a lottery, all of that. Come on, Wrexham. Big up Wrexham, man, getting the win. A lot of Wrexham fans from all over the globe. Ben Foster is such a legendary goalkeeper. Big up Ben Foster, man. He's made a career of himself away from football now. Obviously, he's back into football with Wrexham, but with the podcast as well. And I think a lot more players should do that. I feel like a lot of players are reluctant to start their own YouTube pages, their Twitch pages. I know Alphonso Davies does it a lot as well. Because it's really good to see that side of football. So I think a lot of people actually are quite disrespectful to footballers. They say, oh, why are you doing all this TikTok? Why are you doing all this? Whatever, like these YouTube pages, Twitch pages, these podcasts. They're human beings, man. They're footballers, they're human beings. They've got rights as any of us to do anything they want to do, man. And it's good because I think a lot of people, they treat footballers really badly. That they talk about them like they're not human sometimes. The way they disgrace some footballers. Like an 18-year-old, 19-year-old player might have a bad game and he'll get flamed on Twitter. It's crazy. A 19-year-old getting flamed by grown men on Twitter because he had a bad game. Like, it's crazy. I know it's the stakes of football sometimes, but you got to remember these are footballers. They're humans being just as much as footballers. So I think when I see Ben Foster in his podcast, he comes across as a really nice guy, really humble, talks his mind a lot. It gives us a good insight into football as well because, believe it or not, even with social media, it's improved a lot, but there's still a lot about football that we don't know. Like, behind the scenes, training grounds, etc. I think the documentaries, like the Arsenal, Man City, Tottenham documentaries helped a lot, but there's still a lot behind the scenes we do not know about football that I wish I knew a lot more about. But I think Ben Foster's done a brilliant job to bridge the gap between football and social media and making footballers seem more personable and more human. like that in respect and more like kind of approachable. I think he's done a really good job at that, Ben Foster, and I really appreciate what he's done. Bro, look how many people, wow, yeah, a lot of people tuned in, man. Make sure you subscribe, just like the others that have said they've subscribed. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the football chat. Will Chelsea get battered against Real Madrid? Here's the thing, Tommy. I did my Champions League predictions early on this channel, so after this, feel free to check that out. I said, right, Chelsea are a funny football team because when they won the Champions League in 2012, right, under Roberto Di Matteo, they stunk in the Premier League. I think they finished 10th or something. They were terrible in the Premier League. But Chelsea are a European powerhouse. Some teams, I don't know what it is, they are just good in Europe. Real Madrid as well, make no mistake about it. Real Madrid as well are good in Europe. But Chelsea, Liverpool, Real Madrid, AC Milan, Bayern Munich, these 5 teams, they come to the top of my mind. There'll be more, of course. In Europe are just different. They're just different in Europe, like good way different. Other teams, I feel like Man City flop in Europe, PSG flop in Europe, Arsenal flop in Europe as well. That comes from Arsenal fans as well saying that. I feel like Chelsea got something about them, man. I would not be surprised. With that being said, though, I think Real Madrid will win, and they've got the potential to wrap this up in one leg at the Bernabeu. But if they go into that game and they don't think about it properly and they don't approach it like a proper Champions League match, Chelsea could find them out. The problem with Chelsea is between the boxes they're fine. In the middle of the park they're good. I've watched a lot of Chelsea football recently against Liverpool. That epitomised Chelsea Football Club. When they drew 0-0 to Liverpool, it epitomised everything about Chelsea. Between the boxes, brilliant. They dominated the game, controlled it. But in front of goal, they get nosebleeds. They struggle. They get a rush of blood to their head and they can't finish their dinner. And the fact of the matter is they spent 300 million or so and they didn't buy a proper striker. They didn't. Kai Havertz cannot finish. Joao Felix, brilliant link-up player, brilliant attacker, but he's not a striker. Raheem Sterling doesn't get enough game time, and even so, he's not a proper striker. Mikhailo Mudryk, they bought him. I don't know why they bought him. He's a touchline winger that they bought to play in the half space. Makes no sense. He was bound to go Arsenal because he fits Arsenal's mold of being a touchline winger. That's Mudryk's style, but they bought him in a system that plays wing backs, trying to get him to be in that half space, left forward type position. That's not Mudryk's game. So they bought all these players that don't fit their system properly, Chelsea. On Wednesday against Real Madrid, after I stream it, I'll come out and I'll say, look, I think Real Madrid are going to expect this game now. And after I stream it, it might be completely different. But right now, if I have to talk about it, I think Real Madrid will win that game. I don't think they'll batter Chelsea, but I do think they'll win that game. I think 2-0 at least Real Madrid will win. I can't wait for Man City versus Bayern Munich tomorrow. Me neither, man. What a game. What a game of football in prospect. Quality-wise, it's going to be miles better than this game. But entertainment-wise, who knows if it matches up. I cannot wait for it. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here, because I will be streaming at 10 p.m. UK time tomorrow. Man City versus Bayern Munich reaction on this channel. I want to see as much of you as possible. Give me your thoughts on that game. I can't wait for it. 2002, I feel old. Yeah, that's why I was born in 2002, man. But the thing is, I feel old as well now, because there's Jude Bellingham's from 2003. Jude Bellingham was born in 2003, you know. It's crazy. This brother feels like he's been around the block for ages. I remember him at Birmingham City. It's crazy, man. Love me some cycling, GK. Up the town, up the Fozcast. Yeah, exactly. Ben Foster's done brilliant, man. He's done absolutely brilliant to bridge the gap and find himself a career post-football. Because a lot of these players post-football, they either go into punditry, they either go into management, or they fall off the face of the earth. Like, no disrespect to him, but it's not like they just recede into nothing. But he's created a way for footballers to stay relevant after football. Because it's got a market there. There's a market for people like myself that want to know the ins and outs of football clubs. Ben Foster could make a podcast talking about the truth behind playing football professionally. And I'd watch it, even if it's an hour long, 2 hours long. Because there's a market for it. I want to know what it's like being a professional footballer. I want to know the ins and outs. What's the schedule like? What's the banter like between the teammates? Like everything. How many days a week do you train? What's the schedule like for training? What's the match day like? Do you stay at the team hotel? How many hours before do you get to the match? How many hours before do you have your pre-match meal? I want to know these things. I'd love to know about it, and it's not known enough. There's not enough public information about it. I get it because like you don't want to. A lot of football clubs want to keep that stuff secret because they want to have an edge on the market, etc. But like surely at some point you could give a little bit of information away because it's a bit too much of a closed shop for me. You look at Chelsea versus Lyon in the women's game. That second leg is a definition of excitement. Scoring a last-minute penalty to take the match to a penalty shootout, then winning in that shootout. Brilliant, man. Even look, the England final between England and Brazil for the winner of like the Euros and the CONCACAF, whatever it is, the like Brazilian thing, Brazil, Argentina, South American thing. That was brilliant as well. Absolutely brilliant. It got to a penalty shootout as well. Women's football is getting better, and good luck to them. Good luck to them. Because I don't think nothing in life should be closed shop to one gender. whether it's females only or males only. So the fact that female football is going up in the world, I have massive respect to it. Massive respect to it. And I wish it the best, man. I wish it the absolute best. And you're right, for a low ticket price, as you said earlier, Siuan, you can get good quality entertainment. It's brilliant. I just subbed. Big up you for subbing, man. Anyone else that subbed as well, I really appreciate it. On the channel, on my road to 2,000 subscribers. That's the aim on this channel. My next stream will be tomorrow. Man City versus Bayern Munich. Cannot wait for it. What a match it will be. You look at England versus Brazil. There we go. Exactly what I was talking about. England-Brazil in the finalissima women's game at a sold-out Wembley. Brazil equalised in the final 2 minutes of added time to take it to penalties. England then won on the shootout. Yes, and to be fair, when Brazil equalised, I thought they were going to win penalties because they had all the momentum. But fair play to England. They found a way to win that in the penalty shootout as well. Was watching a different channel. Was people from all over the world in the chat in Valencia. Myself. Exactly, man. Exactly. People are watching Wrexham from all over the world. People tuning into this game from all over the world. I'm a person that's never watched National League in my life. I haven't. I watched League 2. I've been to AFC Wimbledon's ground. I've been to Leyton Orient's ground as well. So I've watched a bit of League 2 and League 1 action, but I've never watched National League. But I was thoroughly entertained. And to be fair, the advertisement and the marketing was good. Really good. Like, BT Sport were promoting it, Sky Sports were promoting it as much because it wasn't on their channel, but BBC were promoting it, ITV were talking about it. There was hype around this game. YouTubers talking about it, saying, oh, it's the tightest title race in the whole of England right now. Really had good marketing behind it. So big up that. Ryan Reynolds, of course, is an actor. He knows how to market it as well. Millions of followers on Instagram. There was bound to be fans from everyone. As this man said, from Valencia himself, watching it all the way from Spain. Big up yourself for that. Hope you enjoyed the game. I also forgot to mention Leon in the women's game. I like Real Madrid men's team. Champions dominant. Win the women's Champions League almost every year. Yeah, I've heard that. Leon are a really good side. Arsenal, I want them to win the Champions League in the female Arsenal women's team because I'm an Arsenal fan. But of course, it'll be tough to get through some of these teams. Thoughts on Welsh clubs being in the English League? Really good point. Really good point, actually. That's something I haven't talked about a lot on this channel at all. So really good point, Tommy. Should Welsh clubs be in the English League? For me, I don't get it, yeah. In everything in life, in the Olympics, etc., you represent the UK. Andy Murray represents the UK. He's a Scottish tennis player. Anthony Joshua, UK. Why in football is it differentiate between England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland? I get Republic of Ireland, they're not part of the UK. But why? I don't get it. I really don't get it. And then you've got the fact that Scotland have got their own league. Then you've got the fact that Ireland got their own league. Yet Welsh clubs are in the English football system. For me, I think they should just make the UK system. Genuinely, I think they should do that. Now, I know a lot of Scottish fans would say, no, we have to have the Scottish League. We've got the Old Firm derby, Celtic versus Rangers, fighting for it year in, year out. I get that. I have nothing against Welsh clubs being in the English League. It's more revenue for them because it will generate more money than the Welsh League by itself. And I'm not a Welsh person, so clearly I don't necessarily have a horse in the race in that respect. But I don't see it being a problem. I know Swansea and Cardiff, those are two teams I remember that have actually flirted with the Premier League at times. I'm in that competition. I think it's been really good as well. Especially because Wales are not far away from England. Like, Scotland's all the way up in the north. Like, if Arsenal were going to travel to Scotland, it would be far. For Wales, it's just, you just go west a little bit. That's not the end of the world, man. You'll get there. I can't wait for Champions League tomorrow. I can't wait as well. Brilliant ties, man. We'll be covering it on this channel. Make sure you subscribe for Champions League live streams. 10 p.m. Tuesday, 10 p.m. Wednesday, and 10 p.m. Thursday for the Europa League. Man United versus Sevilla as well. Wrexham will win the league now. Mark my words. I agree. And to be fair, if they don't, you've got to say they bottled it potentially because they were on top form today, man. Really good performance. Some great goals as well. And they made a comeback because that free kick from Notts County, that put the cat amongst the pigeons. At that point, I'm thinking, hang on a minute. This goes against the script. This goes against the Hollywood script. They've scored. And it was a brilliant free kick as well. Like David Beckham-esque from Bostock. I forget his name, I'm sorry. For Notts County. Brilliant free kick. Hello, good fella. Hi, hello. Welcome Bernardo into the chat. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. Wrexham will up. Agree. Hello from Brazil. A lot of Brazilian fans. Leonardo Felipe here as well. A lot from Brazil watching this game. Brilliant, man. Wrexham fans from everywhere. Oh, super Ben Foster in goal. Big up Ben Foster. What a penalty save, man. What a save at the end. Brilliant penalty save. But then again, you got to say, he's a Premier League keeper, man. It's like Manuel Neuer being... Okay, no, it's not like Manuel Neuer. But it's like how do I explain it, man? Like, it's a Premier League, former Premier League, or at least a Championship level goalkeeper being in a National League team, in a National League humongous game. Like, you got to say, it's a bit like... It's like having an icon in goal. Like, it's crazy. It's like in soccer when you've got the legends on the pitch and then you've got, like, the celebrities a little bit. That's what it felt like. What a save from that penalty, man. Because it wasn't even a bad penalty. It was just a brilliant save from Ben Foster. Brilliant again. Timmy was amazing today. Big up him as well. Great performance. Would you like to see Celtic and Rangers in the Premier League? I would. I would love to see that. I would love the Premier League be 24 teams and Celtic and Rangers in there. I think it'd add another dynamic. Really good as well because Celtic and Rangers... Obviously, there's some other teams in the Scottish League. There's 12 teams in total in the Scottish Scottish Premier League that, let's be honest, Celtic and Rangers are the standout teams. Like, you have other teams here and there that sometimes perform well. Like, I can think of Dundee United at times that are here and there. But really, it's Celtic and Rangers. I'd love to see the Old Firm derby in the Premier League and have implications in the Premier League. Because I'd love to see it personally myself. Where do you think they'd finish? That's a good question. Anyone in the chat, let me know. If Celtic and Rangers win the Premier League, where would they finish? I think they'd finish 9th. I think they'd finish around 9th. 9th or 10th in the Premier League. If Celtic and Rangers were in there. That's my opinion on it. Mullin won the Golden Boot in League 2 already. He showed against Sheffield United that he isn't out of sorts against competition out of non-league football. Yes, he's a top striker, man. I saw it today. He's a really good striker. He deserves to be in at least League 2 or League 1. Definitely. He obviously went to Wrexham, etc. But this brother's good, man. That right-footed finish, you don't score that goal if you're not a good striker. The way it came onto him, it's a tough finish. Really tough finish. Trust me, that's not an easy finish. Bobbly surface, ball coming across on your right foot to sweep it into the bottom corner. Tough finish, but brilliant strike from Paul Mullin. Wow, Bobby Jack was good as well. No way. This guy making up names now, man. Looked like Foster left the line on that penalty. Yeah, but this is the point I made, Ian. This is the point I made, man. This is the point I made about Ben Foster. He did encroach a little bit, but look, it's entertainment, man. It's entertainment, man. If he encroached a little bit, he encroached. It's football, man. It's a National League. There's no VAR. It was a brilliant stop, nevertheless. But I do see, because I did see that. I did see him encroach a little bit. He goes, nah, come on, man. He's right. Yusuf, he's right, bro. He's right. He did encroach a little bit, but it's entertainment, man. It's entertainment. The reason NFL or NBA don't do relegation is that, one, the owners would have to agree and they would never risk being kicked out of the league. True. And two, they are not organised lower leagues to promote from. True. I think it's just the American model. You're right. As an owner in those American teams, right? The NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB, MLS as well. You want to be in that division so you can guarantee income, man. You want to guarantee income. There's a whole lottery system. Teams can tank to get the best lottery pick, etc. It works for America. That's the American system. Now, playoffs, they get really excited for the playoffs. Oh my God, it's the postseason now. Like, that's what they're excited for with the American man. Leave them to their model personally. I love my model here in the UK and anywhere else where we play the pyramid scheme for football. You got a chance, whether you're Wrexham, whether you're Arsenal, to win the Premier League eventually. That's how it works, and I love it in England. Type in such. No, it doesn't, bro. I saw it. I read it loud and clear, man. It was all good. Do you think Arsenal deserve the Premier League title? 100%, Leighton. 100% Arsenal deserve the Premier League title, man. I mean, I'm an Arsenal fan, so I might be a bit biased saying this, but genuinely, yeah, unless you're a Tottenham fan or anything like that, or a Chelsea fan potentially as well, as a football fan, you should want Arsenal to win the Premier League because A, City have won it basically year in, year out, and B, City have become an oil club. Let's be real about it. They're an oil club. Don't get me wrong, you need more than money to win the Premier League. Money itself isn't enough. We saw Chelsea spend a lot of money and they're not doing very well this year. You need a well-run club as well as the money. But Arsenal are a historic club, the third biggest club in England, behind Manchester United and Liverpool. Arsenal are a team that spent money, I'm not hiding away from it, but they've also nurtured players and have coached well. And they've been a model for any team that says, look, you may not have the funds that Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle United have, but if you coach well and you sign some good talent and good potential players, you have a chance to win that Premier League. And Arsenal have done that. The football Arsenal plays is beautiful. Like, I'm smiling watching Arsenal play football. The way we play between the lines, Zinchenko slots into midfield. Saka stays wide, then receives the ball inside and turns. The way Saka assisted and set up that first goal against Liverpool, I know he didn't assist it, Odegaard assisted it through to Martinelli. But the way that first goal happened, Saka faking to go touchdown, then receiving the ball inside of Robertson and darting, turning and running on him. You may think that was a brilliant piece of football. Saka does that week in, week out for Arsenal. I see it every week he does it. It's coached by Arteta. It's coached into him. These are young players that are willing to learn and get better. So I'd love to see Arsenal in the Premier League and definitely deserve it. But, just because you don't deserve something doesn't mean you get it, man. Football isn't like that. I wish it was, but Man City are an oiled machine. And I've said it before when I reviewed Man City versus Southampton on this channel. And I'll probably say it again tomorrow, even though it's not a Premier League game. Man City and Pep Guardiola have found a system now. They've found a system. They were tinkering a bit too much. I was seeing him play Bernardo Silva left back, Rico Lewis there. And I was thinking, what is this? Like, City weren't clicking. But now I've seen a Man City team. And genuinely, I see a team that's a hallmark players in there. Like, you've got Stones into midfield, it works. Rodri next to him, it works. Gundogan's in the team. De Bruyne's in the team. Mahrez, Grealish, they're all cooking in there. It's a team that works now. So I'm worried. But Arsenal deserve to win the Premier League. Just found your channel, love it, sub, appreciate it, Tommy. Anyone else that subbed after watching this reaction, I appreciate it, man. I love all your thoughts in the live stream. It takes me a while to get through all the comments because there's so much, but I will get through all of them. Don't you worry. Love this stream overall. My camera's a little bit out of focus. I want it to get back in focus a little bit. Hopefully he gets back into focus. But yeah, I appreciate anyone tuning in. My next stream will be tomorrow, Man City versus Bayern Munich. I cannot wait for it, which will be a brilliant. I just want to get my camera back in focus a little bit, my webcam. Come on, focus now. But yeah, brilliant game tomorrow, Man City versus Bayern Munich. Cannot wait for it. Hi Jordan, welcome as well. Thoughts on Napoli and Serie A? Napoli, brilliant. They've got 2 players that I'm a big fan of. One, Kvara, Kvichavela, however you say it, the Georgian international. What a player this kid is, man. What a player. The thing I love about Kvara, and I spoke about it a little bit to be honest, yeah, is this brother, he does everything that I want a winger to do. My favourite position on the football pitch is wingers. I love wingers, whether it's left winger, right winger, because they're direct and they make things happen. And he's not a player that's going to stand there and try and be another Neymar. Too many footballers try to be Neymar. I saw it with Pepe. Stand still, elasticos, rainbow flicks. You know what I mean? He's a player that's direct. Just like Mitoma, them two I'm a massive fan of. They get the ball and they run. And their only real skill move is the body feint. But boy, does it work. They body feint left, they body feint right, and they beat the defender. That's what you need to do as a winger. As a winger, you don't need to be sitting there doing skill moves on the spot and trying to think it's FIFA Street, trying to be a freestyler. Just be direct and be clinical and have end product. And Kvara is exactly that. Victor Osimhen, what a strike he's turned out to be. Napoli are cooking, man. Really well. I think they're going to win Serie A by a mile, to be honest. By a country mile, they're going to walk that league, and they deserve it, man. They're well coached as well. Arteta's coached Arsenal brilliantly, and Napoli just as much have been coached really, really well. 2 great teams, man. I had no clue about this game, to be honest. Not a problem. I didn't really have much either, to be fair. I mean, I did a little bit of research before, and both teams are top of the table, and whoever won it would be on their way to automatic promotion. But in terms of my actual understanding of how good the teams were and much of the players, I didn't know a lot. I knew, to be fair, Wrexham had Paul Mullin, because he's been talked about a lot. Welsh international, done really, really well. But yeah, brilliant, man. You should also do a stream on the women's game match reaction. I will do. Genuinely, I would do, man. I really would do. It'd be brilliant, to be honest. If a women's Champions League final is on TV, it will be on TV. But if I'm available, I'll definitely do a stream to it, man. Wrexham versus Man United game. Yes, that's a really good point. Really good point. During the international break, during the pre-season of the summer, Wrexham play Manchester United. That just goes to show the marketing Wrexham have, man. They're able to pull these big teams like Manchester. Manchester are the biggest team in England, and they're able to pull a friendly against them. Brilliant scenes, man. Big up Ryan Reynolds for pulling that off. Rob as well, and I can't wait to see it. Will be a brilliant game. My name is Saeed. Big up Sajid as well. Saeed joining as well. We should never have sacked Rob Edwards. His team is 4th. Luton Town, our rivals, we're 12th. Yeah, Watford, man. I want to see you back in the Premier League because you're a team that's, to be fair, you're a bit of a yo-yo club. Up and down from Premier League to Championship, back up to Premier League again. I'd love to see, obviously, neighbours with Arsenal in terms of our training grounds. But yeah, Championship is crazy though. Championship, honestly, is crazy. Like, you'd be a madman to predict the Championship. Honestly, it is crazy. It's so tight. Like, Burnley have run away with it and they're automatically promoted to the Premier League. Well done to them and Vincent Company. Done a brilliant job. But other than that, it's crazy to predict. One manager I think's done really well in the Championship is Michael Carrick at Middlesbrough. Yeah, they're little spell at Manchester United when they were changing managers. But I think Michael Carrick's done a really good job at Middlesbrough. The quality of football that team's playing is really good. And I think he's a really good up-and-coming manager that's got a good chance at potentially getting a Premier League Cup. I'll be honest with you, I want to see a UK League system. I'd love to see how Celtic and Rangers would do with competing against the likes of Brentford, Fulham, Brighton, Everton, Villa, West Ham and Newcastle. I agree. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see the UK become like a Premier League system where you have 24 teams, Celtic in there, Rangers in there, etc. I'd love it. I'm not going to pronounce that. I'm sorry. The Welsh League. I don't want to butcher it. I'm not Welsh. It's one of the worst leagues in the world. Think Cardiff, Swansea, Wrexham, Newport would die if they had to play in their own national league. That's a good point then, Tommy. That's a really good point. They're in the national league, and of course they get more fixtures, more revenue being in the English system because there's more money floating around in the Welsh league. But I also think that you've got a bit of a duty also to like bring your own league up, like you're representing your league. But that's why I see what I said about. I'd love to see a UK league system, a UK league where UK pyramid. I'd love to see it. Do you reckon they deserve to go straight to the Premier League? Absolutely not, Leighton. Absolutely not. No, they don't. No, they don't. If they earn it, if they get promoted from League 2 next year, say they make League 2, and they get promoted from League 2 the year after to League 1, and if they get promoted from League 1 after to Championship, and if they get promoted after the Premier League, so within the next 5 seasons they make the Premier League, then they earned it. But they don't deserve it in that respect. Do you get what I mean? Like, there's no team that should like necessarily deserves to go straight to the Premier League. I feel like you should earn it. But if they get there through promotion and there's no foul play at work, there's no match fixing or anything like that, fair play, man. Fair play. It's a Hollywood story, and big up them for that, man. I'd love to see it. The way the tier system is, and the reason I love it is because hypothetically, no matter how bad of a football team you are, you could be in the 9th, 8th division of football, you can make the Premier League. Like, there's a route to make the Premier League. It's not like America where you have to set up a brand new franchise and then you have to apply to it and the owners have to agree to expansion. Then you're only in the NBA, NFL at that stage. With this, you set up a team, you start in the bottom division and you work your way up. Look at #United, what Spencer FC's done. YouTube-driven page, YouTube-driven team basically. They've got their own YouTube page, followed by a lot of people. They could be playing in league football soon. They really could be because they're flying up the divisions. I love the way it's going, man. I love the way it's set in the Premier League where any team's Premier League. I love the way it's set in England where any team's got the potential to make it to the top. If they just try hard enough and they put in enough resources, it can happen. Old Firm with money and their fan base, top half could challenge for European places after a few years. Look what Brighton and Brentford are doing. Yes, exactly. In the Old Firm derby, for me, is one of the biggest derbies in world football. The only two bigger matches in the Old Firm for me, actually only one is El Clasico. El Clasico is the only game that's bigger than the Old Firm for me. The Old Firm is honestly, it's war. Like, it's war, that game. Celtic and Rangers. Because it's not just Celtic and Rangers. Like, there's like political, there's like religious beliefs. There is split. Like, it's split between Celtic and Rangers, that whole country. El Clasico is the only thing that beats it, in my opinion. It's better than Liverpool Man United in terms of like the rivalry and the fan base and the hatred between the two sides. Quality-wise, obviously, it doesn't match up to some of the other derbies of the world, but brilliant, man. I'd love to see it in the Premier League. I'd absolutely love to see it. And actually have implications on them two making the Premier League and implications on other teams as well. And that aside, I think England should have, or the Premier League should have more European spots. I think that 5 should go into Champions League. I think 6, 7, 8 should go in the Europa League. And I think 9 and 10 should go into the Conference League. I honestly think the top half of the Premier League should all get European football. Genuinely. Because they're good enough. And they've got enough revenue coming in from the Premier League to afford to fly out to places in the Europa Conference League, for example. That's my opinion on it. And the thing you said about distance, I wouldn't apply to every team. I bet Newcastle, Sunderland, Leeds, Liverpool, Man United, City fans would much rather make the trip to Glasgow than to Brighton. Very good point. I mean, Newcastle basically in Scotland anyway. They're so far up north, Newcastle. And yeah, I get your point. And for me, look, England's such a small country. Well, England. The UK is such a small place anyway, small country, as you name it. Like Wales, like it's all under one time zone. It's not like America where it's massive, man. Like Eastern Conference to Western Conference, like LA to New York is a bop. Like it is a flight and a half. You're going across 3 hours in difference. But in the UK, they're also close to each other. I think it'd be brilliant to see personally. I don't see it ever happening, but would be brilliant. Ben Foster at Watford or Wrexham. He's at Wrexham now, but I think at Watford, he was a top keeper, man. Like, Ben Foster's a really good goalkeeper. I know he retired and everything, but Watford won the Premier League last season. Like, they're not a bad team whatsoever. He would have been in the Championship this season. Ben Foster's a Championship at least level goalkeeper. At least. Touching Premier League, man. Really good despite his age. And as a goalkeeper, like, if you're old, it's not the end of the world. If anything, an older goalkeeper is good for a bit more experience. So yeah, really good, man. Wrexham did really well to pull him. I'm not sure if he was going to be there next season, to be completely honest. If he is, best of luck to him and Wrexham. I saw this is a good channel. I appreciate that, Leighton. Anyone else, make sure you subscribe as well. I see Nunes as your that's Nunes, isn't it? Yeah, Nunes as your profile picture, man. Nunes had a bit of a stinker yesterday. He should have scored, but yeah. Best of luck to Liverpool for the rest of the season. I think it was a really good game between Liverpool and Arsenal yesterday. Newcastle wouldn't mind going to Glasgow. Yeah, you're right. Of course they wouldn't. They're basically in Scotland, man. They're so far up north. I support Liverpool. Yeah, I see it now. I see you support Liverpool with the Nunes PFP. And yeah, Liverpool gave Arsenal a really good match yesterday. Really, really good match. I thought it was a top quality game, man. Really, two good sides. And Liverpool, they showed why they're a good team at Anfield, man. For whatever reason, on the road, away from home comforts, Liverpool really performed badly this season. But their home record's been really good. And it just goes to show that Anfield factor is a thing. A mentality factor. Like, in that second half, I don't care if it was Arsenal, Man City, Bayern Munich, any team would have struggled in that second half to Liverpool. Because their onslaught was ruthless. It was just wave after wave and wave of attack. And Arsenal could not compete. I saw what Arteta was doing. He was trying to get the players to go down and fake an injury to kill the momentum, slow the game down, but it was not working. Wave after wave. I think Arteta helped them by bringing on the defender, Kivior, for Odegaard. I think he should have brought on Jorginho for more balance and a bit more authority and control of the game. And Tierney should have come on the pitch way earlier because Zinchenko was getting rinsed down at left-hand side. But it's one of those things, man. Liverpool did deserve at least a point. Agree, love the interaction. I appreciate that as well. I visited Anfield last week. Not a Liverpool fan, but a special stadium. Yeah, it is. It's a brilliant stadium. I went Anfield as well. Not to watch a game, but to do a stadium tour. And you can see it, man. It's an old ground, but it's just a ground that's got an aura to it. It's like Highbury was to Arsenal. Arsenal left Highbury and got to the Emirates. And they've lost a bit of that. lost a little bit of that aura. It's come back a little bit this season, especially with the fact that Arsenal doing so well, and the Ashburton Army has been a big contributor to Arsenal, and the Emirates being a fortress this season. But stadiums like Anfield, it's just that aura about it, man. It's special things happen. It's like there's a little like voodoo on that stadium where anything can happen. Saka or Martinelli? Brilliant question. For me, Saka. I think Saka's got a higher ceiling, and Saka's really taking his game to new levels. Martinelli is still raw. As an athlete, Martinelli is untouched. His athleticism is better than Saka's. And I think he's still not a polished gem. And if both players are trained, and if both players reach their ceiling, I think Martinelli has got a higher ceiling than Saka. Physical ability, etc. But Saka's just taking his game to new heights. And Saka's so adept. He's like a chameleon, I call him at times. Able to adapt to any position. He can play right wing, left back, left foot, right foot, same result. And he's polished his game really well. And he's well coached. And he's a brilliant IQ-driven footballer. I love smart footballers. Footballers that play the game with their head, not their feet. A coach told me that. He used to tell me, he said, football isn't played with your feet, it's played with your head. And like Saka's that type of player, man. Like, he knows what to do in the right situations. His decision making is usually very, very good. Also visited Goodison. Shout out to Everton. I went to the outside of Goodison. Wasn't quite able to go into that stadium. That's another stadium that's got a good atmosphere to it, man. The reason I tipped Everton to stay in the Premier League this season is because of their home form. That stadium is a fortress, man. And as a team that's flirting with relegation, you got to find a way to stay in the Premier League. And for me, your home form will dictate that. If you've got a good home form, and if you've got a good fan base behind you, if you've got siege mentality at home, you will stay in that division. You'll stay in the Premier League. And Everton, at home, they find a way to get results. It's a tight pitch, crowd on your back, under the lights, at Goodison, Sean Dyche as well. You know he's going to expect competitiveness, running, intensity. Everton got a lot to stay in this Premier League, man. I think their home form will save them. When is the reaction? Will you do any Liverpool reaction at any point? I do Liverpool reaction all the time. I cover all the big games, basically. I did, obviously, Liverpool versus Arsenal yesterday. Feel free to check that out on my channel. My next Liverpool, when's Liverpool's next game? It'll be Leeds. Liverpool Leeds, I'm covering that on my channel. Leeds versus Liverpool Monday, 8 p.m. kickoff. I'll be 10 p.m. on this channel to react to Liverpool versus Leeds, or Leeds versus Liverpool at Ellen Road. I will be there. Will be there no matter what, as Mbappe says. Watford is based in London. Exactly, they are. Their training grounds next to London Colney and Arsenal's as well. Was it a record for offsides this match? Honestly, it could have been. But the funny thing is, I made this point early in the stream. With the linesman, right, it's ironic because the quality of liners was poor, but it's National League. Arguably, without VAR, this needed top quality liners. Like, the liners in the Premier League do not need to be that good because they've got the VAR to bail them out. If anything, the liners in the Premier League are redundant. They keep their flag down anyway when it's an important attack. Whenever the ball's anywhere near the goal, they keep their flag down anyway, and then VAR cleans it up. Here, with no VAR, you need top quality liners, and it was a bit poor at times. No disrespect to Paul Mullin, because Paul Mullin, right, he was doing everything that a young striker is taught to do. He was curving his run to beat the offside trap. But the liner was calling it. Some of them was offside, some of them was not necessarily offside. I think the liner was calling it offside unfairly at times. But it's one of those things, man. It's entertainment at the end of the day. Agree, I watch Old Firm matches when I can. Do you think playing each other 4 to 6 times a season is too many, though? I hear that point, because sometimes, like, people say, oh, World Cup every 2 years. It takes away the special side to it. I think twice a year would be enough. Obviously, with the way the Scottish League is, there's only 12 teams in their Premier Division, so you have to play each other 4, 5, 6 times to really have enough games in the league. But that's why I think just bring them to the Premier League, and a game at home, game away. I think 4 games is fine, man. It's fine. I think the more entertainment, the better. But I think it is special playing a team once home, once away a season. It's just special because, like, if you lose that game, you got to wait till next season to have another go at it. I think there's something special about that. It's more on the line. Will England win Euro 2024? Brilliant question, Leighton. In my opinion, they can. Whether they will, no, I don't think they will, because England bottle it, man. Bottle it every single year. Every single major tournament they bottle it. The funny thing with England is, and the reason I know they bottle it is because Howe has the best front three in Europe right now, yeah, is Harry Kane, Rashford, Saka. In terms of any country, the best front three is that. Yet in the World Cup, that wasn't played. How is Southgate sitting there and the best front three in Europe on fire? Saka, Kane, Rashford. Brilliant. You got Jack Grealish as well, flirting with that left wing position potentially. And he didn't play. Rashford did not touch the pitch in the World Cup. It's crazy ludicrous, man. Crazy. And that's the reason why. It's crazy bad at times, man. I can see England winning it, but they have to do it. Many false dawns. I'm not English though. Yeah, I hear you. To be fair, I'm not a massive England fan anyway. To be fair, I'd love if they appoint Arsene Wenger. I'd love to see it happen. I think Gareth Southgate. I big up Gareth Southgate because he's a lovely chap and he's a really good guy, but he lacks that. I'm gonna come out and say it. He lacks that mentality in those big games. Like in those World Cup defining games, he lacks it a little bit tactically. And I'm not being funny here. If you're looking at it and you've got one side, you've got Luis Enrique or whatever, Joachim Low, etc. Top managers in football, like top managers. Then on the other side, you've got Gareth Southgate. Like, I'm not being funny, man. I'm England. A top country needs a top manager, and Gareth Southgate isn't that. I'm sorry. He's had enough time. He's done really well with the squad he's got, but genuinely, I think he should be doing more with the squad he's got. England's squad is good enough to win. It's good enough to win the World Cup and Euros. Let's see if they do. You had a stinker, Yamal. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm planning on travelling to South London very soon. Hey. Okay, so are you planning to travel to South London or to the South being London? I'm not sure which one. I see the Eagle there, so you're probably a Crystal Palace fan. Big up Crystal Palace. Yesterday, brilliant result as well yesterday against Leeds. 5-1 win. That second half was brilliant. First half was a stinker, but under Roy Hodgson, they're going to do it to stay in the league. I'm sad they sacked Vieira because obviously that's my guy as an Arsenal fan, but Palace done really well. You have survived after yesterday's shock. I know. Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. Big up RD12. Make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. Does great football content, Arsenal-related content as well. Something about Anfield they will never be. Exactly, man. Exactly. Anfield's got that aura about it, man. Certain stadiums, they just have it. Just have that aura. Watford did it. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what that point refers to. But yeah. I loved Highbury. Bergkamp and Henry days magic. That's the thing, man. Obviously, born in 2002, I didn't get to see the Highbury days really. But obviously, I see it on TV replays. I'd love to see Arsenal at that stage. But I've spoken to people older than me and they've said this Arsenal team is some of the best Arsenal team I've seen of all time. It matches at times the Invincibles. Not in terms of the quality of trophies won, because Arsenal haven't won any trophies with this team, but in terms of quality of football that they're seeing. And honestly, the football I'm seeing from Arsenal is good, man. Is good. Like, I'm watching a team that manipulates the ball so well. The way I've always said this, you know a good football team is how they pass out the press. That's when you can identify a good football team. Because any team can play well when you sit back against them. If you sit back and ask a team to pass the ball, they can pass the ball like they're professional footballers. A team that genuinely a good football team is how they pass out of the press. And Arsenal pass out the press so well. The way Zinchenko slots into midfield, Partey comes deep, Xhaka goes long. It's really good football. Genuinely, it's really good. And that's why I think Arsenal's really got back to the glory days. Easy. Real Madrid did it. Big up Real Madrid as well. I'm not sure what that point refers to. This is a problem with sometimes when I've got so many live chats coming in where I've forgotten what I've talked about earlier. So, but yeah, Real Madrid to win the Champions League, potentially. I think they got a good chance. Do you think the UEFA Champions League should go back to just being for league champions? I think the places allocation should be the same, but automatic places given to the champions. Others go through qualifying. That's an interesting point because obviously the Champions League used to be the Cup Winners' Cup, etc. And used to be only for league champions. You're right. I like the format of the Champions League. I genuinely do. This new format they're bringing in where it's more teams and it's like a massive league table, I'm not a fan of. I'm not. And I'm not a fan of teams getting in off club coefficient. That's the biggest joke for me. That's why I hated the Super League concept as well. I hate anything in football where a team gets something based off merit. Sorry, based off anything other than merit. For me, if you're a Chelsea Football Club, you should not make the Champions League next season, unless you win it this season, of course, because you've got a good club coefficient. It's ludicrous. You get into the Champions League next season based on how you perform this season. So if Brighton finish fourth, if Newcastle finish fourth, they deserve to get Champions League because they finished top 4 this season. And big up to them, congratulations. That's how I believe it should be done. I don't think it should go back to being league champions. I think it's good to have it as a wider playing field, especially because of the fact that anything can happen in the league. I mean, look at Arsenal. They finished 5th last season. Now they can finish 1st this season. Like, just because you finished top last season doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be top again. And I like the fact that you can finish in the Champions League whether you're 4th, 3rd, 2nd or 1st. And I get you're saying through qualifying maybe, but I just think it's too many games of football. Like, we've got enough football matches as it is. I think, to be fair, really good to have it as top 4 teams. Maybe 5 in England, to be completely honest, I'd say. I went to York versus Halifax. At least next week I can watch proper ballers play football, aka Arsenal, yeah. Big up, that would have been a good game as well, York Halifax, in terms of entertainment. That's the thing, National League, man. You're not expecting quality football. Like, I watched Liverpool versus Arsenal yesterday, quality football. I'm watching Man City versus Bayern Munich tomorrow, which I will be streaming on this channel as well. My match review to that at 10 PM. Quality football. Today I just watched entertainment. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with just watching entertainment. It's crazy to say that, but I really enjoyed it. Thoughts on new Champions League format in 24-25 season? Yeah, as I just talked about, I'm not a fan of it. I mean, I don't mind them expanding Champions League to more teams. I still like the group stages being like groups rather than one massive league table. And I hate club coefficients. I hate the whole idea about it. Fair enough having club coefficients in terms of your seedings and where you rank in terms of what pot you're in. But I'm telling you this, man. No team should make the Champions League because of how they performed in the seasons prior to last season. It's a disgrace, absolute disgrace, man, in my opinion. Feel free to disagree, but that's how I feel about it. That's why I hate the Super League as well, because it was based off based off your stature as a club rather than how you're actually performing, which I think goes against the whole merit of football, goes against the whole substance of the beautiful game. Hi, welcome HC the Game Boy. Appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. Do you think the Premier League is the best league in the world? If so, what makes it the best for you? It is the best league in the world. It 100% is, in my opinion. What makes it the best league? A, the money in it. Unbelievable. So you're able to get top players in there. Like Keylor Navas was at PSG and he's now at Nottingham Forest. Like, I'm not being funny. Would you see a player from Man City go to Eibar in the Spanish league? No, you wouldn't. Like, would you see a top Man City goalkeeper go to Eibar? No, you wouldn't, man. You wouldn't. It's just that good. Every player wants to play in the Premier League. Every player dreams of Barcelona, Real Madrid, or the Premier League. Those are the only three things they dream of. It's that good. Any team can beat any team. And entertainment is top. The quality of football is top. The best managers are there. The best players, a lot are there. I want to see Mbappe in the Premier League. Test your talents in the Premier League, Mbappe. It's so good, man. So yeah, in my opinion, Premier League is the best league in the world by far. When I go to the Emirates, hopefully, yeah, RD12, make a trip to the Emirates this season. You have to, man. I've got my ticket for Arsenal versus Wolves last game of the season. I've got my ticket. I'm going to be there. Find a way to go to the Premier League. What team do you think is going to win the Champions League? Interesting point, Leighton, because honestly, just before I streamed this on my channel, I did my Champions League predictions, and in there I said, City going to win the Champions League, Man City. For me, Man City or Real Madrid will win the Champions League. I think it's going to be one of those two teams, and I'm giving the edge to Man City. I never normally do, but with Erling Haaland, I just think they've got an extra bit to them that's going to enable them to win the Champions League, in my opinion. Because can you really call it the Champions League when you're having fourth place teams automatically qualifying? At least call it European Club Football Championship or something. I get your point, and people said that for years, but look, it's called the Champions League because champions, isn't it? Like, I get your point, but I like the name, the Champions League, man. Like, it's got a nice ring to it. The first division, only the champions went into European Cup. Exactly, as Tommy said, the first division. But of course, the Premier League was a breakaway league from that. And Sky Sports came with all the money, and then from there, things changed. But I see your point. People love nostalgia, but I think sometimes football does need to change, and sometimes it changes for the better. And I think introducing the Premier League as a breakaway league, introducing, of course, the Champions League, having fourth place teams from England, etc., fourth place teams from Spain, Italy, you name it. I think it's a good idea to expand. Genuinely, I think it's a good idea. Southgate has done well for his ability. I agree, but for his ability. England isn't a work experience, isn't an internship. The England management job should be for top quality managers. Top quality managers. I think it's time. You can't waste the quality, the brethren of talent that England have got available at their disposal. Rashford, Saka, Kane. You're looking at top quality footballers here for England. They're not going to stay around forever, man. They've really got to start. Bellingham as well. They've got to start employing a top manager to manage that team and really start to get results. Because every time England face a top team, they're underdogs. And they shouldn't be. They've got a good enough squad to win the Champions League, win the Euros and win the World Cup. Champions League should be for league winners only, including the name. A lot of people are thinking this, I guess. I liked having it open. In my opinion, I like having it open to a lot of teams. Genuinely, I do. I hear what you're saying, league winners only, but more often than not, the team that wins the league can actually fall off the next season. Like they genuinely can. So I think having it as top 4 teams, maybe top 5, I believe it should be in England. I think it's a good idea personally, and also it gives teams that are not winning the league something to fight for. Otherwise, Newcastle United, it's over for them, bro. Like what are they gonna fight for if they can't make Champions League? You get what I mean? Money, it will never go back to that. Will be boring for viewers. Exactly. He makes a good point. Football's about the money now. Tommy makes a brilliant point. Whether we like it or not, it's business. It's business now. Football, massive owners coming in. They're looking for money. A bit too much sometimes. For example, the Super League introduction, that was the most blatant cash grab ever I've seen in my whole entire life. But sometimes there's going to be a bit of money about it. That's the way football is, man. Premier used to be 22 teams and 42 game season. Yes, obviously before my time. But I love to hear it. I remember 1980. Well, I don't remember it live because I wasn't alive. But 1989 when Arsenal won the league at Anfield on the final day of the season. Brilliant scenes, man. Football used to be like crazy in that sense. Where it used to be just Division 1. That was it. But yeah. It won't ever go back to that. The Premier League's here to stay. I'm not against it whatsoever. But then again, I'm not old enough to compare it to Division 1. I only ever know the Premier League. So am I the best person to ask? Probably not in that respect. South being of London. Okay, yeah, interested to hear. I'm from North London. I've lived there my whole life. South London, obviously, I'm going to say not as good as North London. Cheeky to say that. But yeah, Crystal Palace, big up them in South London. New UEFA Champions League will have top 5 in the Premier. Good idea for me. I think top 5 of the Premier is good enough. Good enough to make the Champions League. I play Football Manager and I've seen how bad the new UEFA Champions League format is. Oh, that's not a good sign. I don't really play video games, to be honest, so I haven't played Football Manager. I don't know if FIFA has a new format either. But yeah, I hope it isn't bad. Who knows? We'll see how it turns out. And trust me, the good thing is, yeah, if it is bad and if it's genuinely bad, football fans will protest because football fans made their opinion clear about the Super League. Football fans, yeah, football Twitter, football Instagram, football TikTok, whatever you want to name it, football YouTube, it is a vicious, man. It's a vicious place and it has got power. Football fans, if football fans unite, it's a dangerous place because our fan base, our passion is unmatched. If we want something changed, we will talk about it. The thing is, when not enough football fans unite in certain things, because it's sometimes be about a club. Like if it's about a Man City, for example, not enough football fans would unite about it. If it's about the Champions League and genuinely we think this is terrible, football fans would unite to change it. Genuinely, I think they would, and I think they'd listen because you don't want to upset football fans. Trust me. I agree. Only Real Madrid or Barcelona can compete. Used to be the land clubs. In the 90s, Serie A was the best. Yes, in the 90s, Serie A was the best. You're right. The Italian teams used to be amazing. Real Madrid and Barcelona can compete, but the problem with Real Madrid and Barcelona is, and the reason they wanted the Super League, is because La Liga can't compete, and the revenue isn't coming in from Real Madrid and Barcelona to the extent that it is coming in for the Premier League teams. Like even Brentford, Brighton, given that they're in the Premier League season in, season out now for a couple of seasons, they're getting constant revenue. They're getting a really good supply of money, and they're able to attract and sign top players. Barcelona are broke. They're broke, man. They're having to like sell out their stadium to Spotify and stuff because they're that broke. It's crazy. But when the revenue doesn't come in, it's tough. It's tough to hack mentally, especially for the owners. So Perez, he tried to pull a masterstroke, bring in the Super League so he could have a way to involve Real Madrid in the top division and rather than just watch teams in the Premier League, gather all the money, didn't end up working. Who's the best ever player to play for Arsenal? Thierry Henry. Simple question, Leighton, in my opinion. I like the current format, but maybe a rename would make it better for people to understand. I guess, but also for me, like Champions League is literally, it's iconic now. The Champions League. I get what you're saying, a different name, so it's like, what is it? The top four Champions League or something like that. Time to move on. If anything, I can see that the Premier League reduced to 18 teams. Hope not. I don't see that happening, just because I think, if anything, the Premier League will go to 24 teams rather than 20 teams, I can see. Just for the fact that every team wants to be in the Premier League. And you can't tell teams, nope, sorry, 5 teams are getting relegated this time and only 3 teams getting promoted. I personally can't see it. But it's an interesting point. Who's my favourite player of all time? What a question. My favourite player of all time that I saw my own 2 flesh, I'm going to say 2. 1, Alexis Sanchez for Arsenal, because it was my first Arsenal player that I genuinely fell in love with watching him play. So good. But my favourite actual player of all time is Luis Suarez at Liverpool. This brother, Luis Suarez at Liverpool, was so good. Like, so good, man. I'm only talking about players that I've watched with my own 2 eyes. Like, genuinely. That 2013, 2014 season, me being 12 years old watching that, I'm watching football and I'm thinking, this brother is liquid. Suarez could change a game like that, man. I haven't seen a player since that. Mbappe is the closest player I've seen to Suarez that can change a game like this, like in an instant. Like, nothing can be happening and he will just turn up and do something special. Incredible. Suarez, for me, my favourite all-time player. Do Manchester City get treated unfairly in terms of other clubs saying they have no fans? They had 30k in the 3rd tier. They do get treated a little bit unfairly. They genuinely do. Man City have a lot of fans. And when I went to Manchester, a lot of fans in Manchester support Man City. I think they get treated like that because a lot of the Man City fans became Man City fans recently. So I think the percentage or the proportion of Man City fans that were genuinely Man City fans from before is way different to Man City fans that are now. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, a lot of fans have become Man City fans now because of their success. That's why they get laughed at. But genuinely, I think Man City have got a lot of fans. Like, they have. Like, it's a joke to say they haven't. They're not a historic team. Don't think I'm wrong in saying that. They're not a club that's the biggest in England by any stretch of imagination. Manchester United walk all over them. But they're a decent team. They're a really good team, Man City. And they've got a decent fan base. So they're growing. And look, I don't think they'll ever beat Manchester United in terms of stature. But if they keep doing well, and who knows what happens with the FFP and all the claims there, if they keep at it, they could be a really big club in many years. Most top division teams have less than 16 teams. It's a good point. Good point. Definitely, especially in like other nations as well, they do. Bundesliga is 18, Liga 18, Eredivisie 18, Portuguese 18. That's a very good point. What is it with having 18 teams? Maybe they found a good balance then. Because a lot of Premier League managers, to be fair, have complained about the fixtures list and how it's all piled up. And how have they got time for Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Champions League as well. Don't forget, England's got 2 cup competitions as well. Many leagues around the world have their league, a cup competition for their league, and then a European league, like the Champions League, Europa League, etc. So the fact that England's got 4 and 20 teams in the Premier League is a big point, to be fair. Ligue 1, I see a point. Yeah, Suarez is my favourite. Big up Suarez, man. What a player. Newcastle, will they be the real deal? That's a very good point. I've spoke about this as well before on my channel. Newcastle United, right? If they make Champions League, be worried. The world of football, be worried, because then these lot have the incentive to splash the cash. Newcastle football this season has been brilliant. Really, really good. And the reason I love how Newcastle play football is because they've showed multiple facets to their game. A lot of football teams play one style, whether it's counter-attacking like Tottenham or possession like Arsenal and Man City. Newcastle show both facets. I've seen Newcastle against Arsenal, for example, away from home, sit back, dig in and grind out a 0-0 and get a point at the Emirates. And they were brilliant that day. Equally against Manchester United at home and against West Ham and even against Brentford, I've seen a Newcastle team that's been progressive, forward-thinking, attacking football and looks really exciting to watch. And they show both facets of their game. In terms of merit, they've been really good, Newcastle. They deserve to be in the top four and they deserve to make Champions League football. If they make it though, boy am I going to be worried about Newcastle United because these owners, believe it or not, despite the fact that they are by far the most affluent owners in world football, they've actually been quite restrained. They made some top signings like Kieran Trippier and Isak, for example, but they haven't bought the top players of the world. If they make Champions League, they've got an excuse to sign top players. Like, they're going to have the transfer kitty behind them. They're going to have the income stream behind them. They just have to tell the Premier League, oh, hold on a minute. We've got this. Oh, look, Champions League. Here's where the revenue's coming in. Let's sign these top players. And Newcastle's a big club as well. Newcastle was a massive football club that used to fight for titles back in the day with Alan Shearer and stuff. Let's not forget that, yeah? So, yeah, Newcastle, genuinely, real deal. And I worry about them. Like, genuinely, I worry about them if they make Champions League. In terms of, as an Arsenal fan, I worry they could be a really good side and become the next Man City in Premier League. When I was growing up, Leeds United was very good. They were. Leeds United were very good as well. They made appearances in European competitions as well. I remember that against Galatasaray, that was a massive game. That was a bad game as well in terms of what happened afterwards and before that game as well. Only problem is no 100 points then. Yeah, that's the only problem. No team can get 100 points. I think they shouldn't change. I think it should just stay at 20, to be completely honest. Make it historic. Will it be the top 7 soon? Potentially. I think you're right. With Newcastle, will become the big 7. Genuinely, I think it will be. I know you support Arsenal, but do Tottenham have a mentality issue? Yes, I think they do. And this is the thing, right? I speak about a lot of football teams in this channel. Basically, every single top team I speak about. I'm speaking about Wrexham and NOTTS County today. Tottenham, I made a video earlier on my channel where someone asked me this on stream saying, what do you think about Tottenham and how they've frozen their season ticket prices? The thing with Tottenham Hotspur is, right, they've got a little bit of like victim syndrome. And what Daniel Levy's tried to do with bringing in top managers to win a trophy is backfired. Backfired big time. Because they're not built for that. They're not built for Conte and Mourinho. If you're Tottenham, yeah, you sign a manager that's got a project behind him. You don't go back to Pochettino. He's had his time at Tottenham. You sign someone else. For me, Nagelsmann, Thomas Frank, anyone like that. Just a project manager. Manager that's going to come up in their trade. Brendan Rodgers even. A manager that's going to go there and not be worried to rip up and start everything again. Blow it up and start again. Change everything. The diet, the training scheme. Everything. Change everything about that football club because it needs a reset, man. When your club has gone without a trophy since the 2008 Carling Cup, as you said right here, Tommy, Wigan have won more recently than Tottenham. They won the FA Cup against Man City, Wigan. When you've gone that far without winning something, as Tottenham Hotspur, it's not a little change. A big change needs to happen. And that big change has to be from the top. You can say bring in new owners, and a lot of clubs call for new owners, but in my opinion, right, to be completely honest, yeah, Arsenal got Kroenke in. I was calling for Kroenke out. Arsenal top of the league now. So it's not just the owners, to be completely honest. It's not just the owners. You like the manager can do. The manager and the players are enough to win you a title. They genuinely are. So I think they got to bring in a manager that's progressive, forward thinking, rips it up and starts again from the bottom up. Builds Tottenham again. And if it means you sell Kane, if it means you sell Son, etc., and you start to invest in your academy, and it takes you 5, 6, 7 years to get back to the top, so it be. So it be, man. Because you're not exactly winning trophies right now. You qualify for the Champions League to get bounced out in the round of 16. I'm not a Tottenham fan, but I'm giving an unbiased standpoint. I think Tottenham, they need to change big something around that football club. Blow it up and start again. Who do you think makes the NBA playoffs via the play-ins? Okay, really interesting points. Obviously, the play-ins start very soon. For me, I'm thinking that I think LA will get past, I think it's a Timberwolves. I think they'll get past that. And I think it's the Timberwolves will then get past the Pelicans. So I think we'll get past that. So I think LA and I think the Timberwolves will be the two teams from the West. I think from the East, I think Miami will get through and I think Atlanta will get through. I think 7 and 8 will get through because I think Atlanta will then beat the Raptors or Chicago. I think they'll get through, to be completely honest. Lee, like and you have subscribed. Appreciate that, and I appreciate anyone else that subscribed to this channel. As a Wrexham fan, we have been magnificent this season. Let's hope we can go up and fulfill our potential. Yeah, big up Wrexham, man. Big up with the ownership as well, with Ryan Reynolds as well, Rob as well. Done really, really well, Wrexham. Today I thought they played really good football. Paul Mullin was outstanding. Ben Foster as well. What a heroic save at the end. Really good overall. Is London red? Leighton, yes, London is red. London is red 100%. Right now it's red. You can argue say it's blue, argue a little bit. I disagree. The reason I disagree is because Arsenal's a bigger club than Chelsea and better right now. That's the two facts about one more trophies than Chelsea. Chelsea have got the European thing to their name. They've won the Champions League, won the Europa League, etc. Yes, I get it. You've won the Champions League, Europa League, but Arsenal's a bigger football club than Chelsea. They're doing better right now. London is red. It's never ever going to be white. I'll tell you that for free. Another question. Oh, sorry, I missed this one. Will Tottenham win a trophy within the next 5 years? I don't think they will, but they can. They can. I don't think they will, but genuinely, I think if Tottenham rip it up and start again, they've got potential. They genuinely have got potential for years to come, Tottenham. Because they've got the biggest stadium, not the biggest stadium, so they've got the best stadium in world football, in my opinion. That Tottenham Stadium, I've been there. I know it's not as fun, but I've been to the Tottenham Stadium, and not even, I went in the Tottenham ground as well. I was with the Tottenham fans. I weren't singing or chanting. I weren't standing up when they said stand up if you hate Arsenal or anything like that. But I've been to Tottenham Stadium. It's a brilliant stadium. It's a fan base that's groaning and they're growling for some kind of trophy for that football club. They haven't had it yet. Who knows? I think they can. But they need a big change at that football club. Bro, the New York game, I had to tell one of the guys to change the score to 2-0 because they forgot to do it. If anyone was there to tell Lee Mason to do his job. That's what it's like. It's fun. Non-league football is vibes. It's entertainment. It's vibes, man. That's what it's like. If you're going to watch quality football, you're not going for quality. Like you're not there. You're not in the National League, are you? You're there to watch vibes and entertaining stuff like long throw-ins and stuff like that. Beautiful, man. I hope Wrexham do it. I support the Bluebirds. Might be relegated this season. And that's the thing, man. That's the thing. Will Wrexham do it? Potentially. I think from this point, I think they will go up to League 2. Will they go up from League 2 to League 1 straight away? I don't think they could. I think they could, but I don't think they will. Either I think it's just brilliant for them. Absolutely brilliant. Arsenal, Chelsea and West Ham in that order. 100% agree with that. 100% agree. Would not change one thing about that list. Many more twists and turns to come from this season, I think, but a win at Barnet, and I think we've done it. Mullin, what a player, can set things up, hold it up and score. Mullin's done really, really well. And as someone said earlier, a shout to being the Welsh national team as well. Done really brilliant. Really, really good in there. He's a top striker, and I saw it as well. The way he pulled it across goal with his right foot, it came across, and the way he swept into that corner, it's a top finish, man. Premier League strikers scuff that type of shot. Honestly, really good strike from Paul Mullin, man. Big up him for that. Ronaldo, Messi, I think Messi. I agree. I think Messi as well. The thing is, though, before Messi won the World Cup, I said Maradona was the greatest footballer of all time. And that's me, as a 20-year-old saying that. A 20-year-old about to turn 21 years old say Maradona was the best footballer of all time. Because for me, to be the best footballer of all time, you need to win a World Cup. You have to. How can you be the best footballer of all time and not win a World Cup for your country? You can disagree and say, oh, what about Haaland, etc. Fair enough. Like that, Haaland's a different point because he's for Norway. But Argentina and Portugal are two top footballing sides. In my opinion, to be the greatest footballer of all time, you need to win your country a World Cup. And Messi done that. So big up him for that. Messi is officially my GOAT, my greatest footballer of all time. Maradona second, Ronaldo third, Pele fourth. That's my list. One thing I will say about Chelsea is that Chelsea have a much more ambitious fan base than Arsenal. That is a controversial opinion with a debate. Even when the club is in 11th, the fans have ambition to want to win trophies. Yes, but I will have the caveat that a lot of Chelsea fans I think a lot of Chelsea fans become Chelsea fans under Abramovich and they've been used to success. It's like if I'm used to staying at Hilton hotels, if I'm used to driving Ferraris, driving Porsches, to then go to drive like a car like a Nissan Micra, like it's a drop off. Whereas if I'm used to driving Nissan Micras, it's not different. You know what I mean? Arsenal fans recently have been starved of success. Only FA Cups. Chelsea fans recently have been blessed with trophies like Champions League, Premier Leagues, FA Cups. They've been blessed with a lot. Chelsea fans. So I think it's hard for them to take being in this position. But let's not forget, before Abramovich, Chelsea were in this position. Chelsea were not a top football team before Abramovich came in the doors. Let's not forget that they were a mid-table team. But I hear your point. Chelsea fan base being more ambitious. I just think it's because of where they've had recently. They've been used to top success. They can't hack not having success now. Arsenal fans, I think, are ambitious. I think a lot of Arsenal fans, it's a thin line between being ambitious and being deluded. Do you get what I mean? It's a very thin line. I think a lot of Arsenal fans are ambitious, to be fair. But I think Chelsea fans, I can hear what you're saying in terms of they're not hacking the position they're in. If Arsenal were 11th, don't make no mistake about it though. Arsenal fans would have uproar about it. Absolute uproar. Great video yourself going. I appreciate that, Luca. Luca, another football YouTuber. Make sure you check him out. Does Arsenal related videos. You can see by his PFP. Brilliant YouTuber. Wrexham class. I agree. Wrexham today really, really good, man. Made a comeback as well. That free kick for Notts County in the first half was brilliant, and they still managed to come back. Great, man. I should mention Wrexham famously beat Arsenal in 1992 FA Cup at the Racecourse. Yes, I saw that because when I typed in Wrexham, one of the top searches was Wrexham versus Arsenal. I think they won 2-1. Wrexham 2-1 Arsenal? 2-1 or 2-0? I think it was that. So yeah, big up Wrexham for that, man. Brilliant. Wrexham have had their moments in the past. They have indeed. And it's nice to see them go back to their glory days because even being a Welsh club as well, it's nice to see it. They've got the Hollywood story behind them. Brilliant. Are Liverpool having a bad season? Yes, they are. They are having a bad season. But they're having a bad season away from home. At home, Liverpool are top team. And as you saw yesterday, Liverpool are still a brilliant side. Like, they still found a way to get a point against Arsenal and probably deserve to win that football game. They were really, really good. But the thing with Liverpool is they need to update that midfield because that midfield's getting run through too easily, man. Like, Fabinho has no legs. Henderson has no legs. Curtis Jones did alright yesterday, but he's nowhere near top quality. Liverpool, they can get back to it, but they need good investment in the summer and they need to bring some top midfielders. But they have still got... That ground is brilliant. Like, Anfield's a brilliant ground. It's got an aura about it. And Liverpool's a massive football club. Massive football club. Chelsea fans can be spoiled. I agree. I definitely agree with that. Best Premier League club of all time, Manchester United. Easy. Liverpool second, Arsenal. Well, okay, if you mean Premier League in terms of Premier League success, Manchester United, I guess, Chelsea, Man City. But if you're talking about best English club of all time, then I'm going Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. That's my top four. 2-1. Yes, that was the score. 2-1. Man United, easily. Yeah. As Tommy said, I agree. Manchester United. 13, please. Do you mean 13? Oh, 13 Premier Leagues. Yeah, as for 13, please. 13 Premier Leagues, exactly. So many trophies, man. They've won 3 in a row as well, Manchester United. I think before Abramovich, the club was still winning cups. 2 FA Cups in 4 seasons. 2 Cup Winners' Cups as well. More European titles than Arsenal till now. Yes, I agree. I see what you're saying, but still, I think that Abramovich was the reason the Chelsea are like their stature now. Like, you're not winning Champions League without Abramovich coming through the door. Let's be completely honest. And you've hit the lottery. You've hit the lottery again having Todd Bowley because he's another manager that's willing to dip into his pocket. But yeah, I think Abramovich is a big contributor to your success. You weren't a nobody club, don't get me wrong, but you weren't nowhere near the level of club you were before. Whereas Arsenal could have any owner in world football, we're still going to be the club we are because we've had stature before, like a historic football club, even under Herbert Chapman. Brilliant club. Man United bigger than Liverpool. Yes, slightly. It's close. It's very close. I think Liverpool better in European success. United done more domestically. I think I just pip it to United. I think United got a slightly bigger fan base as well. But Liverpool very close. For me, it's United, Liverpool, top 2 by not by a mile, but very much top 2. Arsenal 3 in like a league of its own. Like they're close to United and Liverpool, not very close. And I think you go below Arsenal, you've got the likes of the Evertons, the Chelseas, etc., the Tottenhams, etc., the Nottingham Forests, the Aston Villas of the world, historic old like traditional football clubs like them. They're the ones that beneath them. But I think United, Liverpool in a class their own. Arsenal just below. Then you've got the Chelseas and all those clubs. Anfield Stadium increased to 62k. You're right. I went for a stadium tour and they increased it to 62k and it's going to look big as well. Anfield's a historic stadium and they did the right thing because when Arsenal left Highbury, right, they lost a bit of their aura. It's been brought back a little bit, but it's not quite the same. Whereas I look at Liverpool and if they leave Anfield, it'll be a terrible decision because that stadium's got aura to it, man. That stadium's got an aura to it, man. It's a big bad boy stadium. Like, you feel it. You feel it as you walk in, the psychological impact of standing and playing at Anfield is brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. I'd love to see a match live there. I've never seen a game live at Anfield. I'd love to see it. Everton 52k in a new stadium. Stadium's getting big, bro. Yes, exactly. And their new stadium's going to be on the docks, I believe. Everton's new stadium. It'll be crazy if they go there as winning the championship. That would be an absolutely crazy sight. But I see what you're saying. Stadium's getting big. It's the money, man. It's the money coming in. Teams are able to adapt and build new stadiums. They want to take advantage. Everton's a terrible run football club, though. Terribly run football club. Is it Mashiri? Is he the owner or something? Or the chairman or something? Terribly run. The money they spend is terrible. They bring in top managers like Ancelotti, like Benitez. They never get anything done. Absolutely terrible from Everton, man. They need a big clear out. I feel for their fans because Everton's a massive football club. Massive football club. I agree. Arsenal 3. Yes. Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal. 7-0 to Liverpool. Yeah, but look, that's the Anfield thing, man. That's the Anfield thing. Manchester United is still a massive football club. Obviously, it's nothing to do with Arsenal's history, but some fans think that this lot were nothing before Abramovich. Yeah, I think, look, you say nothing because relative to where they are now, they are nothing. Let's be real. Like, relative to where Chelsea have performed under Abramovich, you can say that they've done nothing before Abramovich. But I see what you're saying. Like, overall, they have done something. They're still a decent football team, Chelsea, before. But they were mid-table. They were nowhere near the likes of where they are now under Abramovich. Hit the lottery getting that owner. Chelsea and Man City had history before takeover. They did win things. Yes, they did, but now and then. Like, now and then. They were nowhere near the successful consecutive, like, quality seasons that they are having now. Who will win the FA Cup? Man City for me. Man City will win it. They're going to get past Sheffield United. Then they're going to play either Man United or Brighton in the final. And I think Man City will win the FA Cup. Man City could do the treble. Okay, last few comments before, because I'm going to wrap up this stream. It's been going on for an hour and 45 minutes. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Don't worry, my next stream will be tomorrow. Man City versus Bayern Munich. Bring all your questions related to the game, not related to the game, related to anything. I'll be there. As long as it's football related, I will be there to respond to it, man. Can't wait. Can't wait for that game tomorrow. It'll be absolutely... We'll not have this setup, so I'll be at Manchester. I'm taking the train up tomorrow. We'll have a different kind of setup, but the stream will not be any different, man. Lovely to hear about football chat with all you guys. Love hearing about it and hearing all your opinions. It's just levels. Yeah, absolute levels. Haaland to win City UEFA Champions League? Yes, I think he will. I think he will win City UEFA Champions League. Haaland's that X factor that City needed. I think in the league, they play better with Alvarez. I know Haaland scored so many goals, but genuinely, I think with the league, Alvarez is that type of player where he brings other players into the game and he allows De Bruyne to have a better game. He allows Mahrez to have a better game. Grealish to have a better game. But Haaland's that X factor. And sometimes in those one-off Champions League games, you need an X factor, man. And Haaland can be that X factor for Man City. And I think he'll do enough. It'll be tough because they've got Bayern Munich and in the next round they've got Chelsea and Real Madrid. But I think he's done enough. I think he'll do enough to win the Champions League. Genuinely, I think that. The GOAT, Messi. It was Maradona before Messi won the World Cup. But after Messi won the World Cup, it's Messi. I'd love to see Benfica or Napoli win UEFA Champions League. I would as well, but I don't think it's going to happen. After stream, check out my UEFA Champions League predictions. It's on this channel. It's a video before this one. I live streamed it. 20-minute video. That's it. I talk about all the routes to the final, who I believe is going to win it. Every matchup. Spoiler alert. Benfica, I think, are going to get past Inter Milan. I'd love to see Napoli win the Champions League. Absolutely love to see it. The team they've got, the football they're playing is absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Make sure you like the stream if you haven't already. I'm wrapping it up now. Wrexham beat Notts County 3-2. It was a brilliant game of football. The Ryan Reynolds backed Wrexham managed to make a comeback and win it. It was brilliant scenes. Really enjoyed watching the National League. My next stream will be tomorrow. Man City versus Bayern Munich in Champions League. I cannot wait for it. Make sure you hit the bell notifications and you don't miss it. Last comment coming in from Leighton. Napoli win for me. I hope so, man. I hope so. I'd love to see it. That would be my favourite team to win the Champions League. It'd be Napoli. I love the football day. Okay. Thanks, bro, for the stream. Love it. Appreciate you tuning in, Tommy. Hope to see you all tomorrow for that stream between Man City versus Bayern Munich, 10 p.m. UK time. I will be here. I appreciate you all tuning in and subscribe if you're new around here. I've been my hope to see you all in my next one. Take care, everyone.